He's been exceptional, is what how Sean Payton described RJ Harvey today when speaking to beat reporters and answering questions. He said he's doing exceptional, that he had a run today that was something. We kind of turned and looked at each other as he popped off a 40-plus yard run to the outside. Sean Payton has been smitten with Harvey ever since the day Harvey fell to his second-round draft selection that Sean Payton wasn't sure he'd fall to. They took a gamble. He held his breath, and when they landed him, Sean Payton was giddy and excited. Sean Payton builds through the draft. The bloodline of the team, the blood life of the team is built through the NFL draft from Sean Payton's own mouth. And I'm telling you right now, I keep bouncing back between Hendy and Harvey and Hendy, Hampton, Harvey, Hendy, Harvey, Hampton, Hendy, the Triple H and Associates.
In a jam, call HHH and Associates.
Triple H and Associates, locations on Earth and Jupiter.
I jump back and forth between all four of those guys, really. But this is a year of Sean Payton's running back. This is the Alvin Kamara season. This is a 1,500 total yard season that you're about to get handed from the 5th and 6th round. And a very casual fantasy football fan, probably right now in the comments, is typing, Smitty, 1,500 total yards. Are you out of your mind? How could you? I don't care what that person thinks. I care about the people that absorb. I care about the ballers in the chat right now. I'm going to ignore the nervous Neds, the scared Scots that for whatever reason want to root against Harvey. 24 years old. Oh, J.K. Dobbins. It doesn't even matter. J.K. Dobbins could stay healthy all year, and they both could get over 1,200 total yards together if they did an even split. That's how much Sean Payton utilizes his running backs. This is going to be a 60, maybe 70 reception season out of Harvey, who people think won't play on third downs because they aren't educated on the subject matter. They're not understanding what time it is. But I'm here to teach you. I'm here to tell the people that don't know what's going on, what is actually going on. The Fantasy Football Show. The RJ Harvey to the Moon Show. No, not the moon, not Saturn. How about to Jupiter?
To Jupiter.
Show begins right now, as well as the Nabers and JJ cautionary tales that we have to tell. It starts right now. File on in.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news
In a
breaks.
jam, call HHH and Associates.
Triple H and Associates, locations on Earth and Jupiter.
This guy, Sean Payton, gave Alvin Kamara, if you remember Alvin Kamara's rookie season, this is a 1,500 yard total yard type of season that is in order for Harvey. This is what Kamara did. Kamara caught, I believe it was 81 receptions his rookie year. And Harvey's one of the better receiving backs in the class. There's a misconception that he's not a good pass catching back because he may not have pass protection. His pass pro skills might not be where they need to be quite yet. In all honesty, this is a very transparent show, a very, very unbiased show. He got leveled on a play today in pass block protection where it made some people that love to hate on him right on it. So there's some negative blurbs that leave out his 40-plus yard run, that leave out that Sean Payton said he had a run today where it was something, and we turned and looked at each other, the coaching staff, and said, we've got him. We've got him. We've got the guy. This is confirmation. This is what we want. Popped a run out to the outside, 40-yard run, showing his elusiveness, showing his quadzilla thighs. This is Quadzilla 2.0. There is no running back in the league with stronger quads except for Saquon Barkley. This guy is the strongest quads in the NFL aside from Saquon Barkley. This guy has power like Saquon Barkley. This guy's got determination, grit, ability to learn. Wasn't used to his full potential in college, so we're teaching him things right now. Sean Payton talks about. We're teaching him how to pass protect. His strength is not a problem. His size is certainly not a problem. He's short, but Peyton said he's big. He's strong. He's massive. He's not small. Sean Payton, from his own mouth, put reporters at bay that said, is he small? He goes, he's not small. Sean Payton stepped back from the podium. This is the last press conference. He said, we don't like small guys. We like strong guys. And he said he may be short, but he's not small. He's strong. And you may think, and Sean Payton already put this to bed, but the media won't let it go. The fake news, the fantasy football fake news world won't let it go. They say, oh, J.K. Dobbins is the guy that's going to actually be in there on third downs, Smitty. He's the guy. When Sean Payton has already addressed this, you're just not listening. Sean Payton said, Darren Sproles, look at all the running backs in my history. You don't need them to block on third down. On third down, 70% of the time, the play's going to Harvey. On third down, you're getting the ball in his hands. You're not necessarily having him block a linebacker. He said, on rare occasion, did I ask Darren Sproles to ever block a linebacker or make some kind of block like that. But it is not a normal type of thing. It's a very rare situation. He'll be asked to do that on occasion. He's being taught to do that. Him learning. And Sean Payton did address when he got leveled today on a pass protection situation. He said he's learning. All these guys are learning, and they learn at different paces. And then he repeated he's doing exceptional. So for the people that love to twist and turn what's actually being said and what's actually happening, I feel bad for you. Because what you're doing is, not only getting us cups of coffee at midseason or even week 4, week 5, regardless of what J.K. Dobbins is doing. This is still a situation where Sean Payton has telegraphed. He's yelled from a megaphone. When someone asked, what about J.K.? What about J.K.? His immediate response 2 press conferences ago was to J.K. Dobbins. What's it look like? What's the divide going to be between J.K. and Harvey? Is J.K. the starter? He said, literally, one of the next lines was, the lifeblood of this team is the NFL draft. The lifeblood of the team is the NFL draft. This is a player, whether you want to believe it or not, because you skipped out on drafting Harvey, you took Judkins against my advice. They told you don't go near Judkins. I told you don't go near Judkins.
You take a big lap. We don't need your head mask coming.
And let me guess, Smitty, you got lucky on that one. If Judkins didn't get in the situation, he's innocent. How dare you? I don't know if he's innocent or guilty, and innocent until proven guilty for sure. I'm not judging him on that situation at all. But I told you, draft this man or Travis Hunter or Igbuka and not Judkins. If you didn't listen, that is on you.
Take a big lap. We don't need your head mask coming.
In a jam, call HHH and Associates.
Triple H and Associates. Locations on Earth and Jupiter.
Some people just can't be helped. Some people just can't be helped. This guy is going to pull in, mark my words. No matter what JK's doing, how long JK lasts, 81 receptions is what Alvin Kamara got under Sean Payton's watch. This guy, Harvey, is going to, at a bare minimum, rush for 1,200 plus yards rushing. He's going to bare minimum get you 450 to 550 receiving. And while you might think that's a joke, and this is a 60-plus receiving back player, while you might think that's a joke, that's not my fault. You need to get a grip. You need to understand what Sean Payton does. You need to understand who Sean Payton is. And that anybody that thinks that J.K. Dobbins is holding this second round running back when Sean Payton's already told you he's going to be a 3-down back, no one can help you. No one. You are blind and oblivious to the reality of the situation. This guy's catching 60-plus balls, running for 1,200 yards on the ground plus, and catching 450 to 550 receiving yards. This is going to be an insane season where we win leagues off of the RJ Harvey. This is the same thing as Achan. This is the same thing as Kyron. This is the same thing as JD5. And for any of you in here that are gawking over this or balking over this or laughing over this, or you think you've got something over on this community, you just stumbled on in here and you're like, oh, this guy, you don't know what we've done. You don't know the history of the things we land. You don't know the telegraphing that is done that we can read, the language of these players' play that tells us that it's coming, and you can't read the language that we can read. And you're going to be taking laps, and we're going to be cooking.
Let him cook.
I feel bad. I feel bad for the people that don't see what's really going on. I feel bad for the people that are drafting. The people, let me tell you this. The people that are saying no to Harvey at 5th round cost of entry. At 5th round cost of entry. Those people that are saying no to Harvey at 5th round cost of entry, they think Christian McCaffrey's the running back one. They hate Achan. They think Genty's playing on last year's Las Vegas Raiders. They think that a guy like croskey-merritt can't be an elite player. They think that it's crazy that Kyron's explosive. They fear Kyron. They think Kyron's a running back that's going to be replaced. It is a type. An anti-Harvey personality is an anti-Kyron, anti-Achan, pro-Christian McCaffrey running back 1 overall. It is a type. And you can't try and fix their mind. You can't try and, it's just like politics. You're not going to change anyone's mind. Just turn like this and go win. Turn like this and cook.
Let him cook.
$1,500 total yards, bare minimum. 12 plus total touchdowns, bare minimum. 60 plus receptions, bare minimum. You're either on board this train or you're not. You've made your intentions obvious. You've dropped your receipt in here, and it's done. No one's letting you on this train.
Got him.
The train is full. Choo-choo. Walking into the season. We're locking the train doors. No one's getting on. I usually say August 1. You got to be on by August 1. No more. The train doors are closed. The train doors are closed. You anti-Harvey owners, call up and get served. I'll open the phone line in a second, and we'll dunk on you. However you see fit. You want to get dunked on tonight? The phone line will be open. As for the other two topics we'll get to in a second, JJ and Nabers, very cautionary tales, unfortunately. We have a celebration that's in order. A midseason monster might graduate to the Moon Man list early because he might not wait until midseason. This guy's getting first-team reps over in Washington. He is croskey-merritt, a.k.a. Bill, a.k.a. Little Bill. And Little Bill's been getting good run and great reviews. And they're talking about this kid as looking exceptional. Yeah, that is Little Bill, ladies and gentlemen. Little Bill looking fantastic on the midseason monster list. Let's God, we got so many players on this list. We just can't narrow it down because they all look exceptional. They all look fantastic. Even Milton and Milrow over here, they look great. Your croskey-merritt looks great. They all look fantastic. But Little Bill is getting run with the ones and he looks great. He looks solid. A bunch of different words have been getting tossed around about Little Bill and how good he looks as a receiver, which is pretty important when you think about it, because you have JD5 taking that step forward. You have McLaurin out right now, and he's taking on more work. And there's a trend going around the league right now, a very, very, very interesting trend. And that is running backs running with the wide receiver ones in camp, getting these guys honed in on their receiving skills, their pass catching skills, their third down skills. And croskey-merritt's receiving abilities have been on display in camp, just like Bijan Smith, who is also a midseason monster. Bijan Smith getting work with the ones out at the wide receiver position. Not that they're trying to convert him back to a wide receiver. Yes, he is a successful converted wide receiver at the college level. He ran for an amazing amount of yards and touchdowns last year. This is not one of those hybrid experiment conversions. He has been fully successfully converted to an RB, but his receiving skills you can't take out of the box. This guy has those skills. So this is a player, Bijan Smith, that's been running with the ones at wide receiver. This guy right here, croskey-merritt's been running a lot of wide receiver, and that's just a trend you're seeing right now. This Pitts has been running as a wide receiver, as a tight end. This is happening. The NFL is very much figuring out that the weapons that are running backs are just as valuable pass catching across the board, especially with the new ways of operating schemes and offenses, and having so much pre-snap motion, and getting these wide receivers into the slot, getting these wide receivers or these running backs into the slot, getting these running backs in motion, creating an empty backfield, and these quarterbacks scrambling around. All these quarterbacks now are mobile. There's almost no non-mobile elite quarterback anymore. Even like Joe Burrow, who's one of the better drop back passers in the league, is a very good running quarterback. He can run for 200, 300 yards and 3 or 4 touchdowns on the year. These mobile quarterbacks and pre-snap motions are making running backs more dangerous than ever. Bijan Robinson has been getting a ton. Bijan. It's going to take some time. Bijan Robinson was running a lot of wide receiver in camp today, caught a beautiful long touchdown pass by Michael Penix Jr. Bijan Robinson is going to be phenomenal in the pass catching department this year. I think Bijan could probably get something along the lines of 60 to 70 receptions, just like Harvey, 450 to 500 receiving yards, just like Harvey. Bijan Robinson, RJ Harvey could be top 5 to 7 in receiving stats at the end of the season in 2025. Bijan Robinson is on his way to becoming that foolproof player that can do just as much damage in a game receiving than rushing. Last year, it wasn't really the case because of the way that this offense functioned under Kirk Cousins. It'll be very different under Michael Penix Jr., who has a cannon attached to his arm. Michael Penix Jr. could throw for 5,000 yards. I think you kind of count on 4,500 plus, but this is a quarterback that could throw for over 35 touchdowns. Michael Penix Jr. could throw for over 4,500 yards, and that's going to benefit Bijan Robinson, who's going to blow up. And Harvey, like I said, going to blow up. Croskey-merritt, Moon Man extraordinaire, potentially. He is a midseason monster. Very excited about Little Bill. Little Bill to the mother freaking moon. The next player we did have to talk about briefly. We've already talked about this in great detail, so I don't want to go on too much of an extended tangent on this, just because we have different live streams on it. But I think it's important to discuss because maybe somebody didn't watch the previous show. But JJ has been ruled out for the remainder of the offseason. He will not play preseason games. He will be shut down essentially from what we're gathering now. This could change in a couple weeks, but he's being shut down and going to be unleashed in week 1. And according to the report from his head coach, I'll read that if I have it. I think it's right here. His head coach said this, that you still want to have him back sooner rather than later. I have zero worry about the opener, but there's a lot of time between now and then. What that looks like, we're going to be smart. So they're shutting down JJ and unleashing him kind of blindly in week 1. And I've got to tell you, this causes a lot of panic for me. And if we're going to go over to the panic chamber and open said doors, I'm going to make an uncomfortable statement right here. JJ, not only is JJ in the panic chamber, but Malik Nabers is also in there. Not that we don't draft players inside the panic chamber. We most certainly do. You know, panic chamber players sometimes are great values. Sometimes they're the best values. Sometimes we're like, okay, they're in the panic chamber in the grand scheme of the mass public, but we don't necessarily agree. Or the ADP gets baked into the panic and then we want to buy the player. So, you know, you could say in the case of like Rashee Rice, panic chamber material for a lot of people expecting a 2 to 4 game suspension. We buy Rice. Rice is in the panic chamber and we love buying Rashee Rice. So I'm not saying that these guys are total busts, but you have both of them injured right now. One looks amazing and is out there in Malik Nabers, but he has a toe that requires surgery. And Malik Nabers spoke about it in an interview with Kay Adams, and Kay Adams said, is it like a mosquito that you can squash? Because he tried to describe it. He says it's annoying. It's annoying, obviously hampers him, doesn't hamper him as much now as it will in week 10. Every week will progressively get worse. He's rested this hampering injury to the point where it's barely hurting now. He's on a maintenance plan and he's got a management plan all year. And every week that goes by, it will get sore. It'll get more sore and more sore and more sore. And so he says he's on a management plan. And I know every Nabers truther and JJ truther wants to say it'll be okay. And it might be, but at what cost, at what risk when you can draft an Ashton Genty that can get you 1,500 rushing yards this year. Genty, we talked about it earlier. If Genty runs for 4.8 yards per carry, times how many? Everybody throw a number in the chat as to how many carries you think Genty will get. Let's put it at 4 and give me a yards per carry. I'm going to take the average of the chat. Don't get crazy. Don't say 8 yards a carry. Don't say 500 carries. Give me a realistic number of carries and yards per carry. And we'll take kind of a general average of the chat. And I'll give you the number. And the number is something you would drool over to get out of JJ or Nabers right now, knowing their situation. So if we sit here and say we got a 4.5, we're going to throw out QCD. Your prediction's garbage with a 2.3 yard per carry, whatever, bro. 300, 3.5. Give me a break, bro. You Genty haters. 5.3, 4.8. So we got a 230, 255, 330, 300, 300, 285, 330. I'm only taking serious people that know football. There's some of you that clearly don't know football. 230 carries. Come on, True Penguin. 230 carries, bro. You think he's getting 230 carries? 280, 295, 310, 333, 300, 140, bro. Everybody's showing their knowledge of football right now. Some of you are. 290, 320, 310, 355, 380. So let's put it at 300. So 300 carries, and the average, I would say 4.9, 5.0, 5.1, 4.5, 4.8. Let's put it at 4.8. 4.8 per carry times 300 carries is 1,440. 1,440 yards. If I told you, hey, I know JJ's got this toe injury, but I have the Gray's Book Sports Almanac, and he's going to score 8 touchdowns, have 100 receptions, and get 1,440 receiving. You would say, if I told you I could press the button and lock it in, you would press the button and lock it in. You would press the button and lock it in. You wouldn't roll the dice and take the chance that the injury takes him out. You would press the button and you would do it live. This guy is going to get 1,400 Genty, 1,400 yards on the ground alone, probably 300 to 400 receiving, and probably at least 12 total touchdowns on a bad year. Genty's going to outscore Nabers and JJ, probably, or score equal if they both stay in it and play all year long because of his touchdown production and guaranteed yards. There's no debate here. When you're sitting there, so we say panic chamber. Yeah, we do.
You are in the panic chamber.
Doesn't mean they're busts. It doesn't mean we run away from JJ and Nabers at all costs. But JJ and Nabers with the players around them become risky propositions. It's safer to draft Genty over Nabers and JJ in redraft. Now, Dynasty is a whole different topic. I'm not saying you run away from Nabers in Dynasty or JJ. These are phenoms. But in redraft, with JJ blindly walking into week 1, unknown if this hamstring is, I can see it now. He goes out there, runs, clinches his thigh, walks over to the sideline, takes his helmet off, throws it right into one of the metal bleachers, and storms off upset, goes to the locker room. I can see it now. 4 weeks, boom. There's 4 to 6 weeks, JJ's out, and everybody swears him off. I'm never drafting him again, blah, blah, blah. Why not take the guy that we just calculated that's getting 1,440 yards on 4.8 yards per carry on 300 carries? That's going to get you an additional 200 or 300 receiving. That's going to get you 2 to 3 receiving touchdowns and 10 to 12 rushing touchdowns. This is a 15 touchdown, 1,700 total yard, bare minimum total yard player in Ashton Genty. There's no debate here. It's Genty. Then we start having a conversation about Nabers and JJ at their new expected territory of risk versus reward. I'm sorry, but Genty has moved ahead of Nabers and JJ in redraft, and that's just the way it is. You take the gamble however you want. That is how I see it. Maximum Heat says moves 12 teams Dynasty Superflex. JJM Gino Achan Isaac Guerrero Scatterby. You need a running back potentially. I love that you've got some, like Scat could be the guy. Sharps could step up. JJ, Travis Hunter, Agbuka. Love the team. AJ Brown. Maybe trade AJ Brown on the high. Try and get into that Harvey, bro. That Harvey, Hendy, Hampton using AJ Brown. Maybe use a pick to get it done. I really love the Hunter, Agbuka, JJ, and I think I utilized that AJ Brown in a pick. Now, getting rid of AJ Brown for Harvey is going to be hard, but if you do it in some sort of 2-for-1, it dilutes that value. $20 hauler from Mad Dog coming in strong with a $20 hauler, my boy. Doing it live.
Alert. Super chat alert.
$20 super chat. $20 super chat.
Alert. Super chat alert.
I gotta find my dollar bills, y'all, so we can toss out. 16-man half PPR with the 8th pick. Been doing this Yahoo League since high school. How do you approach those first 4 or 5 rounds and then target sleepers several rounds earlier given the large league? Hard to say without flow of draft being known. I would say that you're talking about at the 8 pick. It's especially when we're talking, that deep of a 16-man league. I would say make sure you grab an RB early, and it will be the best player available. And you're just going to have to take the best player available as you go. There's no way to set you up for that and try and give you a game plan. I'd be telling you, hey, in chess on the 5th move, no matter what, put the pawn right in the middle of the board. Like you can't plan for that other than to say you're just going to want to grab an RB. I think you're going to try and probably let quarterback slide a little bit and get that Bo Nix or get that Penix Jr., or get Penix Jr. and Kyler, or get just one of those quarterbacks. Dak is not bad. Get Milton if you do go that route. But I kind of love Bo Nix in this format. I think you can get him the latest and still get a monster signal caller. I think you're going to target, Hunter as Hunter, and maybe, so if you get like a Bijan or a Gibbs or a Genty with your pick, you have the 8th pick. Hopefully you get one of those guys. Genty probably falls. Hard to say, but he could. It depends. I think, at that point, it's just best player available. The fact that Hunter and Rice and MHJ and Garrett Wilson and those guys could fall to that 3rd round. One of those guys could fall to the 3rd round. I might go Bucky or Kyron or someone substantial at that running back position while you can. And there's just such a deeper amount of wide receivers. Like, even if your wide receiver 1 and 2 were Debo and Hunter, and those were the 3rd and 4th round picks, if you had Genty, and Bucky, you'd win the league. So in general, running back sounds smarter, if I'm being honest, but it's hard to say because the flow of draft, but I'd say that's where I'm kind of leaning. What's up, Goat? Can you do a mock-up of how you would draft from the 12 spot in a 12-man snake draft? Also, thanks for all you do. Eric, for $4.99, I can't stop the show and mock up the whole thing, but I'll just tell you in general that if I'm drafting from that 12 spot, Genty and another RB is fantastic. If you believe you'll get Rice and Hunter and Debo as wide receivers like that. In a setting where you're potentially feeling like balance is going to serve you the best, going Genty, going London, and then having the flexibility to say, hey, I'll take Hampton, he fell, or if Hampton doesn't fall, and you see a guy like MHJ sitting there, or JSN, or especially Garrett Wilson, or Rashee Rice in that back-to-back, you can take Rice with Hunter while you have Bucky and Genty, or Achane and Genty. I like that too. But if you had London in one of them, you have the flexibility to do whatever you want. You don't have to say, oh, I can't take Hampton here because I went RB already. Although, going Hampton and like a wide receiver isn't horrible there, but then it makes that Rice call tough to make. If you're balanced, you can kind of go Rice. Or if you go RB, and let's say Rice and Hunter are there, I do like that. I don't think you can go wrong. But if you stick to best player available, you're not gonna be disappointed. Just don't draft a player because you feel like you've got to draft that position. That's the main thing I tell you. But I love going double RB there if you think you will get Rice, Hunter, and Debo later. That is an unbelievable start. Rice, Hunter, Debo, Mahomes with Rice, and then you've got Bucky and Genty, or Achane and Bucky, or any combination of Genty, Bucky, Achane at that 12-13. Love it, bro. Or London. That's probably where I'm leaning with that 12 pick. If I had to guess, $4.99 hauler with the recent injury news about Stafford and Nabers, assuming Genty is gone. Which wide receiver do you like out of Amon-Ra, Nico, BTJ after the pick 8? Probably a BTJ. I like Nico a lot, but I worry a little bit about his offensive line. I know that they'll be passing a lot in the third and fourth quarter because I think they will be a little bit of a struggle bus year for the Texans, in my opinion. I think Stroud has a lot to prove, but that's good for the receiver. He's going to catch a lot of balls in garbage time. I believe that Amon-Ra St. Brown has a potential regression, not a lot, but just a little bit. You've got Goff living without Ben Johnson for the first time. How's that going to look? J-Mo's there. Laporta's healthy. Tesla's there. A lot of mouths to feed. Everybody will be healthy, and they're going to have to run the ball a ton, and they're going to throw a lot to Jahmyr Gibbs. Give me BTJ. He gets a better offense than he's ever had. Even with the added Hunter target share competition, you got to think that Liam Cohen's going to lift the offense so much that that'll wash any sort of, losing of touches that would concern you in that situation. So BTJ probably is the guy I'd go with. E-Rock. And then this super chat from Clutch. Clutch, appreciate you, my boy. Clutch says 10-man PPR Dynasty, Gibbs, Devon, Achane, love that. Kyron, love that. Genty, unbelievable. Devontae Smith, Addison. So wide receivers, a lot to be desired, but you were offered, okay, Rome offered Hunter for Kyron? Offered Hunter for Kyron. Yeah, I probably would take Hunter over Kyron in a dynasty. I love Kyron, but give me Hunter all day, bro. Should I do a trade picks, other running backs for Chase, JJ, Garrett Wilson, MHJ for 1-for-1? I mean, I'd definitely give up multiple first rounders for JJ or Chase, and I'd easily give up 1 first rounder, maybe 2 for Garrett Wilson or MHJ in your situation. And I still don't think I'd necessarily turn down the Kyron Hunter trade because I love Hunter that much in Dynasty. Thank you for those super chats. Appreciate you. I think I cleared them all for now. Hit that subscribe button on your way in the door. We only have 91 thumbs up. We have 442 of you in here. Feels like football season is here.
Let him cook.
I'm feeling it. We got 450 YouTubers in the building now. The traffic is here. This is it. Subscribe if you're new. We go live, I believe, more than anybody you could possibly find. I bet you could combine 2 different channels together and they still wouldn't go live or produce as much content as this channel, because we go live whenever news breaks. I go live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern, which is this show right here. Whenever news breaks, additionally, and live most every midnight Eastern. And so this live whenever big news breaks could be 2 or 3 shows outside of the 8 p.m. Eastern Monday through Friday, outside of the midnight Eastern every single night practically. And then I do uploads at 7:30 a.m. Eastern, 4:30 Pacific time. Nearly every day is the goal. This show is all you need. Dare I say you couldn't watch every minute of this show. You don't have enough time. Let's do the phone line thing. Dial in, dial in, dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Dooney, who's becoming kind of a little bit of a fan favorite here by the community, I think already. He says, Smitty, shitting on all other pods out there. Appreciate you, my boy. And then Triple Z says, smash that like button. No other likes. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you with that. And then this super chat from Living Legend says, Smitty, Superflex, second pick. Who do I pick? Bijan or Gibbs is kind of my lean, bro, but it honestly depends on your situation and will it be running back heavy. If it's running back heavy, then it's Bijan, Gibbs in that order. If you believe that you can land Bucky and Kyron in the second and third round, let's say, then Kyron and Bucky in the second round with CD, like a CD Lamb or a Jamar Chase or whatever would be fantastic too. So let's say Chase went 1 and you're picking 2. I don't mind taking Lamb number 2 in that type of environment. But it really does just depend on your league. I can't really tell you. I know everybody wants me to have an exact player that I'm taking at every draft slot, but that's just not the way the world works. It's not the way fantasy works, but you at least know where I'm leaning, I think, based on the answer that I gave you. And I appreciate your super chat, my boy. We got gifted memberships galore up in here. I didn't see these because my alerts aren't triggered yet. Let me go ahead and make sure those are going moving forward. We got BBQ doing his huge dropping the 20 gifted memberships. BBQ, appreciate you. Thank BBQ if you got a gifted membership from BBQ. We also had 4. We also had 5 gifted memberships from Dooney, who we just celebrated a second ago. Dooney coming in strong. BBQ always strong. And then did we have? I think we're good on that. Okay. Let me go to the phone line here. Super chats have all been, I think, attended to. We're keeping up. This year, I'm trying to keep up with super chats in order in which they've received and how they come in. We'll go to Michael from San Diego, then over to the 313. Hang tight, 313. Michael, you're live. Go ahead.
Hey, what's going on, Smitty? Just wanted your updated thoughts on T.J. Hawkinson, considering all the, injury news with Justin Jefferson and the suspension that's looming with Jordan Addison. Wanted to get your thoughts if you think he's more of a value now or do you just view him the same?
I don't think it changes my view on TJ Hawkinson. I like Hawkinson. I do. I just don't think he's still in that territory where I'm like, I don't know if I want to take a tight end here. There's too many good players. It's Harvey, it's Hunter, I just can't get myself to take Hawkinson there, even if there's an increased potential. But you also can't draft a player higher. This is like a question someone had on the Patreon where it's like, do you like Bijan Robinson a lot more now that Nabers could have? You can't play this could game with, it's like 2 degrees of separation to try and draft for value. JJ's not out. Nabers is not out. So we can't be drafting Wandell or Hawkinson differently when they're not ruled out yet for any games. You know what I mean? So it doesn't really affect me at all. And not to mention,
I hear you. I didn't want to just make it about the injury. I also think just him, being further removed from that ACL injury, and then the report coming out that he's been heavily targeted in training camp.
Yeah,
I like value in general.
He could be. I don't find myself drafting him a lot. I was and I know it sounds like I'm just exaggerating or saying this, but it's documented. There's an actual article written on it. I was the highest in the entire fantasy football industry, ranking-wise, on Hawkinson when rankings were collected one year out of 200 analysts, the top analysts in the game. and they looked at who predicted what player, and not a single analyst had a higher ranking on Hawkinson than I did walking into his second year, and he broke out like a mad dog. He was unbelievable that year.
Yep.
I like Hawkinson, but his cost of entry is again around those players that I just can't stop drafting. Even a Debo, like I'd rather have Evan Ingram at like round 10 with Debo instead of taking Hawkinson and having to go dumpster diving in the 10th, 11th round for a receiver. So Ingram and Debo crushes Hawkinson and whatever wide receiver you're going to get, unless it's Igbuka. But still, even then, I'm trying to get Igbuka as well.
Yep.
All right. What else you got? Anything else?
Yeah, one more thing. So considering the Malik Nabers news, my keeper league, I have the 1-9 this year, and Nico Collins, Devon Achane, Puka Nacua, and BTJ are all off the board. So I was wondering if it's an appropriate pick to pick Drake London there instead.
Drake London in that spot is a little high. Let me merge these calls real quickly. Callers that I just merged, if you could mute yourself, callers that I just merged, I appreciate it. Drake London, what pick is this? 9?
It's 9, and like I said, no Achane, Collins, Puka.
How could all those guys be gone? There's no way.
It's a keeper league. We started this league 2 years ago.
Gotcha. And what about Genty? He's gone?
So Genty's there, but my keeper is Bowers. So that's my concern.
That's not going to make me stray away from maybe the best running back in the league.
No, I hear you, but I like London as well, and I think it's tough. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, with the keeper aspect, London's a 12, 13, 14 player anyway. So if you're talking about players being raptured from the pool, then of course London's fantastic there. I'd rather have London than Puka. I'd rather have London than Amon-Ra St. Brown. I don't care what anybody thinks of that. I don't care if people think that's crazy. I could care less. London's a top 5 wide receiver. And so I'm going to, just like Barkley. Barkley went from a trash environment to glory, and he played like a top 1 to 5 running back. London's been playing in turmoil, and he's been borderline stats across the board, reek like top 5 wide receiver. What do you think he's going to do with the gunslinger finally there? So I love London. Smitty, approve your London pick. But we got to be careful not to avoid a player because of another player. You got to be really careful about that, because if you're not drafting the best player available because someone else is on your roster, that could hurt you. But I do think London's worthy of this conversation, so I'm not going to send you on a lap over it.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's a tough pick, man. That's why I was asking. I appreciate it.
All right, appreciate you, bro. All right, let me go to the next caller, the 313, and then the 609.
Yeah, Smitty.
And the 951. Okay, 313, you're live. Who's this and where are you calling from?
Yeah, hey, Smitty. It's Samaj here, second-time caller, a long-time fan. Best show on YouTube, baby. Let's go. I'm excited for it this year. I have a question, because I'm also in the keeper league, similar to the previous caller. We had our draft last Thursday, okay? That Malik Nabers news broke, like, that morning. We started draft at 11 o'clock. We have, like, multiple people across the country, so we do, like, a 3-day draft. It's kind of a unique situation. But basically, I picked at 9, took Genty at 9, so love that. However, I did pass on Nabers to pick up A.J. Brown. Looks like, Puka was gone. Nico was still there, and Kyron, but I also passed on Nabers. That one's still kind of, like, haunting me, but I'm very similar situation. We draft really early. I drafted CMC last year, and 2 days later, that's when we had to deal with the whole Kyle Shanahan, nonsense. Oh, he's fine, and then I don't know. What do you think about that?
The problem with this is, like, so Nabers, without any risk of the toe, which is a huge, huge risk, Nabers is 1.4 to 1.5 capable in redraft for me. That's how good Nabers is. Nabers' toe concern drops him, and you got to package in the risk, but you can't overreact either. You put him below, in my opinion, and other people don't agree. That's fine. I could care less. Genty goes ahead of him. You could put London ahead of him if you wanted it. I could understand this. London's a top 5. Maybe London has the capability of being the number 1 wide receiver in the league. I don't care what anybody says. I really don't. But you get to a point, you got to get back on the Nabers and JJ train, because now the risk is baked in. Because if you get Nabers at 1.9 to 1.12, you got to start considering it. I mean, like I said, if you want to take London over him, I get it. But you're talking about A.J. Brown being a player that, and this is a keeper league or a redraft? Hope it's not.
This is a keeper league. Yep. So, and we can only keep our players after round 3.
Okay, so you can't keep A.J. Brown or Nabers.
You can't keep any of these guys. Yep.
Okay,
none of these
that
guys
makes it better. I was about to throw up. Okay, so at the end of the day, I'm still drafting Nabers 100 times out of 100 over A.J. Brown, bro. A.J. Brown's got as much risk, if not in some cases more, than Nabers. He's got bad knees. He has off-season surgery every single year. They take chunks out of his meniscus to clean up his knee. I don't know that this was a smart move. I don't think it necessarily
agree with you too.
I don't think it necessarily kills you, because I think AJB could have a good year, but I can't draft I can't draft AJ Brown ahead of Nabers. That even with this concern, I can't do it. AJ Brown's got his own risk. If it was me, I would I would grab London. I would have grabbed Nico. I would have grabbed Amon-Ra St. Brown over AJ Brown. I would have grabbed Bucky over AJ Brown. I would have grabbed Achane over AJ Brown. AJ Brown to me is second round worthy.
Those guys were all capped. They were all
capped. So it sounds like you didn't make like a horrible mistake in terms of like how far you went down to grab the next guy, but Nabers was a gift right there. Just because it packages, even if he played 10 games, 12, 14 games, and then he got taken out at the end, like maybe you got someone else that steps up. I don't know. AJ Brown, I think he's on borrowed time. Before he not before he just completely drops off. He's still an elite talent, but his knees worry the hell out of him. Worry the hell out.
Yeah, and I kind of wish I would have called in before the draft, because I probably thought. I mean, like again, that news broke that morning, so I can't make this up. So
can you trade AJ Brown for Rashee Rice and something, or Travis Hunter and something? And I'm not saying that something is small. I'm saying you're. I
actually have Hunter. I actually drafted Hunter. So
okay, then Harvey or Hampton and something, or Rashee Rice and something, Garrett Wilson and something. If you could turn AJ Brown into Garrett Wilson +1, and I'm not, again, it's got to depend on what you're adding. Don't just go do it and say, Smitty, I did it and I got this other guy and I hate the other guy. Then you just did a worse thing. Like, figure out what teams have what on the Rice, Garrett Wilson, Harvey teams, and then come back to me, all right?
Okay. All right. Thanks, Smitty. Appreciate it, bud.
Later, bro.
All right.
Yeah. I actually hung up on, dang it. I'm sorry. Caller, call back. I hung up on you. 609, you're live.
Smitty, it's eating again.
What's up? Actually, hold on.
Dead wrong.
Hold on one second. Let me merge this call. I love how you're dead wrong on a what. Hey, all right, caller, I just added you. Please mute yourself real quickly. And then these super chats. Are we getting a Trey Harris video or not? We'll definitely have a Trey Harris video at some point. I can promise you that. Thank you for that $2 hauler. Trey Harris video will be here at some point. I can promise you that. Trey Harris is going to be a marvel in this league. I love Trey Harris. Trey Harris is a beast. Everybody mute, but Heating, I'll be right with you. Everybody else mute, please. I landed Mahomes for Dak and a 26 first in Superflex. That's fantastic. I love Mahomes. He's a great buy low in Superflex. Fantastic job on that. Harris video, I got that. This super chat, who do we think is a better keeper? Chase with the 11th pick or BTJ in the 8th round? BTJ in the 8th round by a country mile. Bro, think about it this way. You've got Jamar Chase in the 11th pick overall, is what you're saying. You're not saying 11th round. You're saying 11th pick. You get Jamar Chase. That's it. You get BTJ in round 8. You now get that 11th pick or first rounder with it. Like, you're going to get a Bucky or a Breece Hall. I don't know how many keepers there are, but just picture that player with BTJ. Like, this is not even a debate. Like, an excellent job putting yourself in that position, by the way. Superflex, PPR League, any advice for Superflex in the 11th pick? Try and get Mahomes. If you don't get Mahomes, I love having one of the top wide receivers, or Gibbs or Bijan or Chase or Lamb, with a Bo Nix in that second pick, and then grab Milroe and Shador later. Those guys work out well. BBQ super chats, and then back to the phone line, and Heating can say how I'm dead wrong. Well, this will be fun. If Rice doesn't receive a suspension or less than 2 games, would he be better value over Nabers at cost? This isn't a vacuum question. This is one of those things where you have to say no matter what, it's Rice plus something, or the player you're drafting instead of Nabers and Rice later. This is not one of those try and put them side by side. It's not something that's going to compute with people, and it's not something that's an easy question to give advice on, because it sounds maddening. It sounds crazy to start talking about Rice better than Nabers. It really is cost of entry. Rice, even with the 2 games or 1 or 0 games, let's say, and for people that think he can't get suspended 1 game, it's not likely, but there's still a chance of it. You get suspended 0 games or 1 game or whatever. There's still that chance. If you don't know that, I'll be glad to explain it to you. Drop a super chat or make a phone call, and we'll have a discussion about it. But it is still in the cards to the letter of the league's policy. So it's more of a, you get Nabers and you trade him for Rice and something even with that. There's no comparative value. Rice isn't near Nabers right now. They're at least, even when Rice climbed into the bottom of round 2, for those getting into football today, weeks ago, sorry, weeks ago, Rice fell all the way down. I got to drink something. Sorry, my throat's dry. This is about the time of season where I start losing my voice. My voice is kind of like Malik Nabers' toe. Every year I get it back to healthy, but it has a problem by mid-season. I get it rejuvenated. I sound strong. Everything's going good. And by October, I start losing my voice. And then in November and December, I start really losing my voice. I lose octaves. Like I can't go, oh, like I get to a certain level and you can't even hear anything coming out of my mouth. Think of Malik Nabers' toe like that. I get it healthy. I get it revived. I charge it up, but it doesn't last long. Anyway, can't compare these costs of entry. You just have to look at it from a more high-level perspective of playing chess, because there's no comparing. Oh, what I was saying was, for people just getting into football right now that see Rashee Rice in the 4th and 5th round, he was climbing into the bottom of 2 before the suspension news was brought to light, that he was going to get the suspension this offseason instead of it waiting until 2026. So if anybody thinks that Rice was that far off from Nabers, he wasn't. He was a round apart. But even with him getting 0 to 1 games, I don't even think he climbs back just the way that people are with deflated balloon effects, where they're just like, the balloon's deflated. He's not just going to climb back to like the 22-23 range. So you're still from 23, 22 overall, from a healthy Nabers and a non-suspended Rashee Rice, you're still about a round apart. So you've got to get significant value in exchange if you're trying to do some sort of maneuver. BBQ said no sooner than you talk about Nabers last night and he tweaks his shoulder today, you also have the injured shoulder potential, which is, how many mosquito bites until we enter 2nd round ADP. His high usage in the regular season is a red flag now, says BBQ. I'm not really concerned about the shoulder yet, but it's just another layer of this thing. But certainly, going to be worried if anything else comes of that shoulder. We'll find out more about the shoulder. As far as I know, the shoulder is not a concern yet, but we don't have a lot of information on it either, to be fair. So we're kind of waiting on that. All right, let me go over. Everybody, please mute yourself, including Scared Scott. I don't want to hear any scared, in the background. Let me go over to Heating. Heating, you're live. Please tell the chat, the 500 people that are in the building right now, hit that thumb up button. 500 YouTubers are watching. How am I wrong?
You are wrong on Nabers. He is not. It doesn't matter if his toes messed up. Doesn't matter if he's got a peg leg. Whatever. He's the wide receiver 2 of this year.
Okay.
Hands down.
Oh. I see. You showed me. Right. All 500 people are going, damn, that was some good evidence. That guy brought a tangible, a bucket of evidence. You didn't say anything, bro. You didn't say a single thing. You didn't say a single thing.
JJ. He's got similar stats to JJ.
Heating, let me stop you. You're wasting your breath. He's the next Jamar Chase. You're saying everything that I've already said. You're saying everything that I've already said. He could be the number one wide receiver in the league any given year, including this year, if he's healthy.
Agreed.
Okay, so what do you say? What you're saying has no relevance to what I'm saying. You're trying to say, you're repeating what I say. You're like, Smitty says he's the number one wide receiver in the league. Everyone already knows that.
But you're hating tonight.
I'm not hating. You aren't listening is what you aren't doing. He has a toe that requires surgery that gets progressively worse, and you think that if this team's got 4 or 5 wins in Week 15, they won't be contemplating shutting him down. That has to be on your mind.
It's the Giants and Davis.
Bro, you sound like an oblivious. No matter what, you're just gonna back this just because he's your pick. You have nothing tangible that you're bringing to the table. Everything I'm saying about Nabers, you're just repeating what I've said about how good he is. Doesn't mean anything when it comes down to an injury. JJ, do you hear me saying JJ's not the number 1 or 2 or 3 wide receiver in the league talent-wise? No. Do you hear me saying that Nabers isn't the number 1 or number 2 or number 3 wide receiver in the league talent-wise? No. You hear me talking about a hamstring and a toe.
Right.
Okay, that's what we're talking about. You're talking about talent all of a sudden. Oh, he's the most talented. He could be the best. I know he can be. Talk about his toe. Tell me 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 about it. Tell me how toes work. Tell me how his toe's going to work. Tell me how his toe's going to work. If it starts breaking down, he starts injuring it, it starts hurting. They get to Week 14. They've got 4 or 5 wins. Tell me how the team's going to be like, let's do this.
They're going to keep them in there anyway because they're idiots.
I'm waiting. You've given the chat and me no tangible evidence. I'm waiting.
I said they're going to keep them in there.
That's not it. That's you being hopeful because you own them in 17 leagues. Please tell us something substantial.
Being a Giants fan and being upset about.
That's a Giants fan. Oh, you're a Giants fan. You're a Giants fan. I forgot.
Yeah, they're going to keep them in no matter what and run into the ground.
You just gave us the evidence we needed. You're a Giants fan. Okay. Heating, move on. There's nothing here. I'm sorry. I love you, pal. I'm not mad at you. You know you're my boy Blue, but there's nothing here. You literally have no case right here. Other than to say that he's an elite. It doesn't matter what you'll put. I'm not
on the line for it.
Okay. All right. Next topic.
All right. I actually do have a question for you, Tim.
Okay. Hit me with it.
I got another trade off. I got no way. It's in Dynasty. Super flex.
Heating, you're breaking up, bro. You're breaking up. Can't hear you.
All right, I'll move over. It's Penix and Laporta for Bowers.
Penix and Laporta for Bowers. It's a super flex?
Super flex.
Penix, Laporta for Bowers. What are your quarterbacks?
JJ, McCarthy, and Geno.
For Bowers. And is it tight end premium?
Yeah, half a point.
You got to give me all that information. Okay,
I did. When I was breaking up.
Okay, sorry, yeah. We couldn't hear you. Bowers. I don't know. I love this. It's super flex. I love this side. I'd probably say no. I can't get rid of Bowers. Not even if it's half, tight end premium. I like Laporta a lot. I love Penix Jr. I'm trying to get Geno, give up first rounders to get an upgraded quarterback without touching this. Don't move Bowers. Don't do it.
Okay. So I just traded Lamar, and that's why I'm trying to get a new quarterback.
What'd you trade for Lamar for in a super flex?
I got Geno and Travis Hunter and 3 first-round picks.
Lamar for Travis Hunter, Geno, and 3 first-round picks. I don't even know how to. I think we had seen this before, and it sounds familiar, but that's hard to digest because without knowing where the picks are, it's like I was going to hit the hang up button, but without knowing where the picks are, it's hard to really digest that. Yeah, what you did though is you put yourself in a rebuild mode, so you've got to make sure you're getting rid of everything you have to rebuild now. like you just set yourself in a position of rebuild.
I had a good trade earlier, too, though. I traded Martinez, 2 firsts and 2 seconds for Achan and Garendo. That's why I was trying to trade Lamar and get more assets.
You traded who? Martinez?
Martinez and 2 firsts and 2 seconds for Garendo and Achan.
Oh. All right. We Heating, call back if you got another one. I gotta go to these other callers. If you find some tangible evidence you want to throw on the Nabers thing, call back. But I like him or he's good doesn't count. All right, later, bro. Let me go to the 515 caller. Or is that the 515? 515. You're live. What's your name and where are you calling from?
This is Steven, and I'm calling from Iowa.
What's up?
What's up, Smitty? Hey, so I got a question on my Dynasty League. I just kind of wanted you to grade this trade that I went to process that someone accepted. So I'm in a Dynasty League. It's a super flex, and my 2 quarterbacks are Pat Mahomes and Justin Fields. So I traded the 9th overall pick with JSN to move up 2nd overall in the draft, and I'm pretty sure, like 95 to 99% sure that the person that has the number 1 spot is going to pick Shedeur Sanders because they've talked about it all season, and he's a big Shedeur fan anyway. So my hope was to snag Genty 2nd overall. So pretty much grade that trade if you can, and then
give me the full trade.
So JSN, the 9th overall, the 1st round 9th overall pick with JSN trading for the 2nd overall pick.
And this is a keeper format. Who's going to be there at 9 and who's going to be there at 2?
In the mocks, RJ Harvey at 9, and then at 2, if he takes Shedeur Sanders as 1, is Genty.
I don't know about that, bro. If you get Genty, I like it. If you don't get Genty, you think Harvey's gonna fall to 9th? I don't know.
That's what he's been falling in my mock, but I don't think he will.
Practice. No, it's not a game. Not a game. That's practice, bro.
And I'm banking off that Genty coming 2nd because this guy's talked about it all year, and he even made this trade last year. He traded for the 1st overall pick to get Sanders.
Hey, caller, call back. I know I hung up on you before. Not you, the caller that just hung up. Call back. I will get you on immediately if you just call right back. I'm sorry about that. You've been waiting so long. I appreciate it. This one's hard to digest, bro, as well. I'm not saying if you get Genty, I love it. You don't get Genty, bro. I think you kind of took a bath on it a little bit. Even if you grab Hunter or whoever, you took a big bath on this. But if you get Genty, I'm fine with it. But JSN is a fantastic player. You get Genty, I'll be happy with it. But you got to get.
Okay.
Yeah, if you think you'll get Genty.
Yeah, worst case, I'm pretty sure I'll get Genty. Worst case scenario, if I don't get Genty and he takes Genty, would you get Cam Ward? I know that's early in a dynasty, but I had Fields and Mahomes, and so I don't know if I should get Ward or go with Hunter. I'd
probably go Hunter or trade down and get Hunter, I think is what I would be considering. But yeah, that's tough. I mean, hopefully you get Genty. Can you? Yeah. Are you just guessing you're going to get Genty, or do you have a good?
No, I'm pretty set. Like,
all right.
In stone.
Then I think I'll like it, but it's a lot to give up, bro. Especially if he does end up getting Harvey, which I don't think he will. But if he gets Harvey at 9, or Hunter, or Hendy, or you won't get Hampton, but you get because of Superflex, you never truly know. But all right, later, bro.
All right, appreciate it, man. Thanks.
All right, callers, hang tight right there. Harvey to the moon, got a crazy amount of shares, as you should, Travesty, because you watch this channel.
Let him cook.
In a jam, call HHH and Associates.
Triple H and Associates. Locations on Earth and Jupiter.
As you should, young man. As you should. We got a couple super chats, then back to the phone lines. I'm trying to keep the super chats answered quickly while doing phone calls. Day 7, 12,966 steps. I love it, Rock Out. Rock Out is doing the 39-day challenge. If you want to do the 39-day challenge, tomorrow will be 38 the next day. If you miss out, just join in anytime. We're going to keep counting down the days. And even when we're 20 days out from opening day, it'll be the 20-day challenge. Pick something, working out, running, eating better, quitting drinking soda, stop eating candy and potato chips or whatever for just this amount of time. Drop some lbs, and then on opening day you'll be a lighter, meaner, cleaner person, and maybe you can get back into doing some of those things again, but we'll be working out. You'll be healthier. You'll be able to maintain it. I'm going to get down to 200 pounds even. BBQ said he's dropping a $500 super chat if I get to weight. So I'm at about 212 and a half right now. I got a little bit of time, but it's, we're getting closer there. Hampton for 26 mid, late first. Judkins, tank. Hampton for 26 mid to late first. Judkins, tank. Give me Hampton all day. Not even close. I don't care about Judkins. Judkins may not play this entire year, and he may never get his job back, because guess who's going to get it? The man known as the briefcase, Samsonite, the midseason monster. His name is Dylan Sampson, and he is the briefcase. Everybody give him a round of applause, please. No interest in Judkins at all. We like the briefcase anyway better. Everybody drop a briefcase emoji in the chat. Keeping Hurts in a super flex, that's fine. There is a shot at Lamar. There is a shot Lamar, Joey B, or Josh Allen are available. Who would you do with your second pick? I'll probably say Josh Allen, and Joey B and Lamar are arguable. I mean, if you could get a shot at one of those guys, you just take whichever one's there. But if I'm ranking them, it's going to be Josh Allen, probably Lamar, and then Joseph Burrow. I could go either way. Lamar, just with the running, it's such an upside. And even if he throws less this year, he's going to run more to just kind of wash that difference. He'll be fantastic. I love Joey B, but I'm drafting Lamar. I'm not drafting Lamar for JD5 or Josh Allen, but I am drafting Lamar slightly over Joey B. And then, from there, it just kind of depends on who's on the board, bro. I don't mind Knicks or Penix Jr. later if you're going to maybe, or Mahomes later instead of going this route if you want to get the name player. It kind of depends on what you can get. This super chat here from, let's see here, from Clutch. Clutch says 10-man dynasty, PPR, Gibbs, Kyron, Genty, Devontae Smith, Addison, Rome. Do I take Hunter for Kyron or Kyron Addison for Garrett Wilson, 26th third? They also have Igbuka. Do I take Hunter for Kyron? In a dynasty, I probably would. Or Kyron Addison for Garrett Wilson, 26. I'd probably rather, chat, would you rather have Garrett Wilson in a 26th third rounder or Kyron and Addison? Or actually, would you rather trade Kyron and Addison for Garrett Wilson, a 26th third rounder? Or would you rather have Hunter for Kyron in a dynasty? I'd probably say I love Garrett Wilson. I do. But I love Travis
I'd trade Hunter for Kyron.
No, he's got Kyron. He's trading Kyron. He's trying to get a receiver. I'll come back to you. Don't worry about you right there. I got this handled. I mute yourself. You're supposed to be on mute, young man. I'd probably take Travis Hunter over Kyron. And I love Kyron, but this is a dynasty, and Travis Hunter is going to be a phenom. I don't think this is an IDP league. Obviously, you'd have to check your scoring. He could break IDP. He's ranked as a number 1, 2, or 3 wide receiver overall in most IDP formats. It's absolutely insane. I really appreciate the unbiased content. Thank you, pal. Appreciate you. One of my many reasons for this favorite show, period. Smitty to Jupiter. Thank you. I do get coined as somebody that doesn't treat things biasly or unbiasedly. People think I'm biased because I'm so passionate and because I'm consistently against something sometimes because I truly believe it. And then they're like, this guy he doesn't like Caleb. He just got something out for Caleb. Or have I been 100% correct? You'll be the judge. I think it's pretty easy. Giants will sit Nabers if they have a losing season. He is the future. The risk is further injury and a lost season is gross misconduct. Fix the toe, regroup for 2026 with whoever is starting at QB. That's what we believe the big risk will be, and it's not going to feel that way. So for somebody like Heating that calls in and goes, he's the best receiver in the world, no one's debating that. But when he's on a management plan and he tells Kay Adams it's like a mosquito, and she goes, oh, one of those mosquitoes you can squash, and he goes, no, you can't squash this mosquito. It needs surgery. What do you think is going to happen after 15, 14, 13 grueling weeks where it gets progressively worse? And you're getting moonballs from a guy named Russell Wilson that everybody thinks is going to be good all of a sudden because he looks good again in practice. He always does. He always has. So, anyway, Super Chats have all been answered. We're caught back up. Let's hit back to the phone lines. Let's go over to 520, then over to Scared Scott, then over to Bruce. Everybody mute yourself except for the 520 caller. 520, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, I'm Theo from Chicago.
Yo, Theo, what can I do for you?
So I traded in a Superflex Dynasty 12 team start 10. I traded Herbert and a 26 third rounder for Cam Ward, Jaden Higgins, Ray Davis, and Elijah Arroyo.
Higgins, Ray Davis, and Arroyo.
And Ward, yeah.
And Ward. So Herbert, a 26 third. Yeah, bro, I think you smashed this trade, bro. Jaden Higgins not. Jaden Higgins is a good player. Ward alone, I honestly believe, is comparable to Herbert, if not maybe. Don't tell anybody. This is just between you and I. I don't want the chat to get all crazy, but between you and I, bro, I think he could maybe be as good as Herbert. The thing is, Herbert, if he was in Minnesota, let's say, would be a top 3 or 4 quarterback. He'd throw for 5,000 yards and 45 TDs. But Herbert, you can't separate situation from player. He'll be better than he was last year. He'll be really good. He'll be a great NFL quarterback. Although his stats against winning teams is actually not very good. But I think Herbert's a phenom. But he's not in a position to fully unleash his fantasy football potential on any level. He's like 50% capacity. So Ward all day long, especially considering that they could be an even Stephen Wash. You get Arroyo, who's a moon man extraordinaire.
The moon man.
He's down to the bottom here. I gotta give him a title. Arroyo to the mother freaking moon. And then, Ray Davis is solid. I like this trade. I could see somebody saying they don't like it because they believe Herbert will find a way to get back into that glory, but it's hard to imagine it in Harbaugh's offense. And Harbaugh ain't going anywhere. They love him there. Harbaugh, as weird as he is, he's so weird. You gotta love it though. It's like the kind of weirdness you love. The peeking through the curtains, like he just lives for this stuff. I love it. But he's weird, but he's not going anywhere. Like he's not going anywhere for a while. So Herbert is stuck in this offense, and so give me the Ward side. Love Ray Davis. Even if Ray Davis and Higgins don't amount to anything, this Arroyo move is solid enough as it is. This could be a top 5 to 10 tight end in Arroyo.
All yeah, because I had Kelsey, so I needed someone to back him up because my tight end 2 is Chig.
All right, later, bro.
All right.
All right, let me go to the next caller. Scared Scott, what are you scared about now?
Well, I'm just getting towards the end of the draft here, so there's a couple of coin flips.
Always scary. Okay.
Let's do. How about? I'm leaning Penix over Trevor Lawrence, right, for my number 2.
I mean that's debatable, but yes, I'd take Penix Jr. I mean T-Law, we need a lot of things to happen. He can still be a number 9 quarterback in the National Football League, in statistically number 9, and still produce 2 top 10 wide receivers. It's a misnomer that he needs to be some sort of top 4, top 5 quarterback to produce 2 top 10 wide receivers. That's not true. Penix Jr. is going to be a better shot at being a top 5, top 6 quarterback. I like T-Law a lot. I think they both could have really good years. I hope Law Dog Milk makes a comeback. The Law Dog Milk product that we've talked about here on the show.
It feels like the Falcons' offense is going to be stronger.
Well, they're both going to be strong.
More weapons.
They're both going to be. I don't know. I mean, Liam Cohen, even if T-Law is not better than Penix Jr. statistically, this offense is going to be awesome as well. So they're both going to be great offenses. But I would lean on Penix because he is going to gunsling, my man.
All right. What,
next one.
Between is my number 2 tight end, Strange or Arroyo?
Arroyo, not close. Don't waste my marker.
Really? Okay. All right. Cool.
All right, Scott.
Have
Later.
a good one. Appreciate it.
Stay strong. All right, Bruce, you're live.
Hey, Smitty.
Yo.
Last night we did the thing with the line in the sand for Nabers. What would be your line in the sand for Jefferson?
So neither one is falling out of the top like 12-ish at all. I am not suggesting that I'm not a moron. I know that they're not going to go in many cases at 12 even. But that's why we're having the conversation. So if this is round 1 and you're talking about, okay, where's my line in the sand? It's after Bijan, it's after Gibbs, it's after Jamar Chase, it's after CD, it's after Genty. And then once you get there, that's my line in the sand. I don't know when and where I'll pull the trigger. Much will depend on the league. If it's a 10-man league, I'm more apt to take a chance on Nabers or JJ here because I believe I'll have the depth to endure. You know, so many factors are at play, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This might not sound like a bold cautionary tale, but these 5 I take over, both of them. But then at that point, it really becomes a case-dependent situation. So when people say, Smitty, you're hating on JJ, or like saying I'm hating on Nabers. Why? Because I have Nabers locked outside, not able to enter my top 5. Oh, real big hater. That's just me being smart. That's me being very, very calculated with the evidence that is literally at our disposal. I'm not using what Heating was trying to do. But I like him. But he's so good. Of course he is. Nabers could be the number 1 overall player. First start. Absolutely. But there is a lot of risk that you inherit by drafting him in 2025, knowing all the information that's been placed at your feet.
Okay. And do you think, would you rather compare him to London now, or you don't think it's like no because London goes?
This is why the line's here. It's not that I'm putting Nabers or JJ next. London could be the number 1 overall wide receiver. So if anybody, and I'm not saying I am yet, I'm just saying I contemplate this too. If you're looking at London right here, I'm not saying you take London 6, but this would be an opportunity to trade down. That's what I'm saying. It's case dependent. I can't just sit here and go Nabers and JJ are next. Nabers and JJ need to be considered next, but they also, you need to look at your alternatives. Can you trade down, or can you draft Nabers and then trade them for Bucky and Hunter later? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many different ways to attack this. By no means am I saying don't draft Nabers at all. By no means am I saying don't draft JJ at all. And if anybody's taking that and you think you're going to have something on me when you come back after 2 weeks of football and JJ is number 1 or Nabers is number 1, I will tell you to go get me a coffee. I don't even like coffee. I'm still going to make you go get me a coffee because I've already told you that how this is going to go. It's the risk is later in the season. So if you do draft Nabers and you can trade him for a potential Bucky or Achan or London and get Travis Hunter or Harvey or an upgrade somewhere, that is an amazing way to go about this situation. But you must be very, very understanding that every situation is going to be completely different. And in a scenario where I'm sitting here and all 5 of these guys are gone and I've got pick 6, I'm pissed off because I don't want to take Nabers or JJ yet. And I feel very much like there you do get to that tipping point where it's like, where's the risk greater, passing on him or taking him? Passing on him or taking him? Right here, the risk of passing on Genty over Nabers or over JJ is greater than passing on JJ or Nabers. Right here, it starts to get really cloudy. So I'm wanting to trade down. Yeah, CMC too. Like, taking CMC at this 6 pick is like just putting a nail in the coffin of your season. So, yeah, I want to trade down. All right, anything else, Bruce?
No.
All right, appreciate you, bro. Call back.
About your...
Yeah, call back if you got another one. All right, we got a 602 caller. You're live. What is your name and where are you calling from? Oh, Arizona. Sometimes
Phoenix, Arizona. What's going on, Steve? Smitty?
Yeah, what's up, my man? What can I do for you? What's your name?
Dez. I've talked to you before.
Who?
Dez.
Dez. Okay, Dez, what can I do for you?
Just wanted to know how you feel about Amon-Ra St. Brown versus Malik Nabers.
St. Brown versus Nabers. I mean, we kind of already talked about this. I don't expect you to watch every second of the show, so I understand you weren't here probably for it, but it's really close. I mean, at the end of the day, you're talking about regression, probably likely for St. Brown. How much, I don't know. You're talking about no Ben Johnson. You're talking about Goff turning back into a pumpkin to a degree. Maybe not fully. Maybe he's still a jack-o'-lantern or something, but he's still not going to be the Goff that we knew and thought we knew for the last 2 or 3 years. Has been wearing the slipper. The slipper doesn't fit anymore. So it's going to be a regression. It'll be a lot of Jahmyr Gibbs. They'll throw to him. Goff's competent. He's competent enough. He's a good thrower. It's just easy. Is he going to be the same player? No, probably not. There'll be regression. I think the Lions could still win the division, but they crawl to a division win versus dominate on the way. It still could all be won through the run. You know, Gibbs can be that good this year. I think Gibbs' value goes up in some degree. His efficiency could go down between the tackles. There's some concern on the offensive line as well, obviously, but the outside stuff, they'll be more efficient. They'll catch more footballs. Could be less efficient between the tackles. The whole rushing attack could be. I think what it comes down to for me, bro, is there's red flags for both of them, and I just want to know who else is there. I'm taking Genty over both of them, and I think because
this is like this is a keeper question.
So you got to keeping Nabers. If there's consistent keeper value that carries over, then Nabers is the no-brainer, bro. Even if he missed the last 4 weeks of the season, you can't forego the keeper value that is maybe the number one wide receiver in the league in a year or two from now. And they'll fix his toe. His toe will be fine, but 2025 is a very, very questionable thing. Not because he's bad. I love him. Like, Heating calling up and making the argument he did was ridiculous because no one is suggesting Nabers isn't the top 1 to 2 overall wide receiver. That's what he was arguing. He's like, he's the number 2 talent. We know that. We know that, but there is huge risk with his 2025 finish.
You're trying to argue.
Yeah. Nabers.
You're just agreeing.
How many years can you keep him? Nabers.
So if this would be my last year keeping Amon-Ra, if I keep Nabers, I can keep him 1 year. The only kicker with that is that I also have Jaden Daniels as a keeper. So next year I'll have to make this tough decision on keeping Jaden Daniels in the 9th or Nabers in the 3rd.
Well, you'll have a good trade piece, right? You can trade that value. You can trade that keeper value.
During the league, during the season.
Okay, so you just have to make that call. You know, if let's say the things going good, you ride it out. If things go awry, then you have to maybe consider, hey, I've got Nabers as a keeper. You want him for a move up and a pick here or whatever.
Cool.
All right, bro.
Cool. Thank you, Smitty.
All right, later, bro.
You're always coming with the heat. Appreciate it.
Thanks. Later, bro. He is a starter. He is a starter. For anybody that missed that earlier. you son of a bee. You son of a bee. When I was talking about, what player was it? I already forget. It was, Jonathan Brooks. He's the guy who's reading off his team. I go, please read off your starters. I don't have time to hear your bench. And he's like, Jonathan Brooks is a starter. Oh. Oh, my bad. My bad. I'm sorry. I didn't know you're playing in a 75-man league. If you own MHJ in Dynasty, what price do you sell? If you own MHJ in a Dynasty, I mean, the thing is, bro, if you own MHJ in a Dynasty, what is his price? The guy who wants him has Achane. I mean, I want Achane for sure over MHJ, and I love MHJ. I don't know. Problem is, MHJ doesn't have a high price tag right now. People doubt him. He's going like a round later than he probably should. So I think you try and get Travis Hunter. You try and get Harvey if you need a running back. You try and get Hampton. You try and get Achane. You try and get Bucky. Kyron's interesting, but, you know, even in a Dynasty, I might want MHJ a little more in a Dynasty. Depends on my build. Garrett Wilson would be good. Like, those are things you could try, but you might not get it until MHJ proves himself. People doubt him a lot. Caller, you're back. I'm sorry about that. Wait, what's your name and where are you calling from? I know I'm going to know you right when you tell me. 951. You're live.
What's up, Smitty? It's Mo from Long Beach.
Mo, what can I do for you, Mo? Sorry about the wait on all that.
Oh, no, you're good, man. Yeah, so I just wanted, I know you ranked your top 5 earlier with Genty at 5. Is there a way you can rank 6 through 12?
There, you know, honestly, there's no way to really do that without context of every scenario. Because I stopped there for a reason. The reason I stopped at Genty at number 5 is because that line in the sand is where all the context matters. And those players that you rank below that 5, that top 5, is dependent on all that information. So I can't do it.
Okay.
Because I want London. I like Barkley. I understand that the Barkley value is still there. Some of you draft CMC. I'm not touching him in round 1. I think that's complete fantasy football disaster waiting to happen. I like London. I love BTJ. I mean, honestly, if you start talking about the safety of players, like an Achane at the bottom of 1 is pretty damn safe at the end of it all. You know, I get that he's kind of got second round value, but it's top of second round. So you budget up 1 or 2 spots. It doesn't bother me. I think it's pretty good. London being a top 12, 13, 14 overall player. I mean, sometimes he goes like 17 or 18 on underdog. So justifying taking him at 10 or 9 is not really wise when you can probably still get him, according to the ADP data at least, at that second round corresponding pick that you have. So, you know, the thing is, though, Genty should fall to 6 almost every time. He should start falling to 7 and 8 pretty much on the regular. So I don't still have a problem getting him in this like 5 to like 8 range. So you're kind of covered on is there a safe player that takes care of me in draft slot 5, 6, 7, 8? Yeah. And Genty on underdog goes at the 12 pick. Now, in heavy running back heavy environment drafts, I believe less wide receivers will go. So Genty probably is more like the 5 to 8 range for being the safe target zone. But I'm not scared to take him 5, 6, 7, obviously not 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. But Genty's my pick. Genty is my solution, my cure for that later first round draft slot that people are worried about with all the Barkley, CMC, JJ Nabers concerns. Genty's your solution. Genty is your remedy.
Yeah. If Genty's gone, would you like Bucky, Achane, London over like Amon, Ron, Nico, BT?
Say it again?
So like the Bucky, Achane, London, they usually go in the second. But do you like that group more than like the guys that are going at the end of the first right now, like Amon, Ron, Nico, Puka?
I do.
Okay.
I don't know that I draft that, though, is kind of my point. You know, Can you trade down? Can you take advantage of the ADP data? You know what I mean? There's context here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, bro.
Yeah. All right, man. Appreciate it.
Later. The context matters. It's not an easy. You can't just. Everything doesn't fit in a box. It's not cookie cutter. Rockout says, check your DMs. Let's go and check out Rockout's message. I'm gonna have to get the other mic to play this for Rockout because It doesn't, my limiter doesn't let me play these.
You know I be getting it's crazy. It's Harvey. Harvey, he's starving. Go get him. He now trying to be starving. No Marvin. Taking to take it. No go and feed him. He's going to take it over to the house and score a touchdown. That's how we get it. And give me a little bill. He's going for the real deal.
Yeah, I love it, Rock. You getting the bill? He's the real bill. Love it. Rock out. Appreciate you dropping that fire up in this mug. Rock out to the moon. BBQ with another super chat. It's crazy to think that by midseason we could be looking at Nix, Fields, May, Penix Jr., Ward, Milroe, Milton, McCarthy all balling out at ADP value. Absolutely, bro. Milton is the guy. I probably will create a Genty is the cure video. I think that's going to be a good title and a very good video that will help people solve their first round woes and concerns. If you own MHJ and Dynasty, I already gave you advice on that one. Thank you, Benji. Appreciate that super chat. Phone lines are open. Dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
All right, 400 of you in the building. We have 208 thumbs up. That's pretty impressive. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sit here and whine and moan about likes when I've got 208. That's pretty good. But if you guys want to punch that thumb up, do it. If you want to subscribe to the channel, because this channel is your one-stop shop. I don't mind that at all either, because this channel does it live like nobody else. We're live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern, like this very show right here. We're live additionally whenever big news breaks, and we're also live Monday midnight Eastern every single night practically. It just kind of depends on there's usually like one day a week, usually like a Wednesday. There's nothing going on. Monday there's something. Tuesday there's always something going on. Caller, you're live. Joshua, right? You're live. What can I do for you, Joshua? $10 holler.
Yeah, I just had a couple questions. So I'm in a keeper league right now, and I'm keeping Trey McBride and Brian Thomas. I got Trey McBride 2 years ago off the waivers, so I'm paying nothing for that. And I got Brian Thomas in like the 6th or 7th. I can't remember exactly. But I'm just kind of thinking about like where I should go in the beginning of the draft. You think I should go like running back first? Like
Probably.
Genty?
Probably. Yeah. Best player available is people think that isn't determined by position of need, but it's a big key component too. So Genty, being he's my number 5 overall player, if you could get Genty on top of these 3 players, give yourself the balance that nobody else is going to have. I mean, you basically you got to screw this thing up not to win your league. So Genty, McBride, BTJ, top 5 wide receiver, top 2 tight end, top 3 running back, like, and then what? You're going to get a Bo Nix or a Mahomes, top 5 potential quarterback? Bro, you got to really, really punt this thing and fumble it away.
Okay.
Genty's a match. Bucky would be great. Achane would be great. Any one of those running backs would be fantastic. You get 2 of them, it's over.
I was also thinking, like, when I get to those middle rounds, I know I'm going to take later. I'm obviously thinking, like, a Mecca, Booker later. But, like, the middle rounds, I'm thinking, like, Kenneth Walker. Like, what are your thoughts on him? I haven't really seen you post about him much, but
yeah, just not a big fan. Not a big fan with the fact that he can't stay healthy. But I do draft him with Charbonnet. Careful with that tip, Smitty. Okay, Sir Fozzie. Thanks so much. I don't even know what what tip you're scared about. Smitty, you shouldn't tell people that because it's bold. And if it doesn't happen, I don't know what you're even referencing because you weren't clear. Be clear about what you think I'm being reckless with. I love when people say that. I already know he's probably like an hour behind right now watching. He's like, I have no idea what you're referencing. Be careful. You know how many things I've screamed in the last, hour and a half, hour and 33 minutes? I have no idea what you're talking about. Scared Scott, is that your son? All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Joshua. I apologize for that.
You're all good.
Rude interruption.
You're good, man. You're good. Yeah, and then I just have a couple questions about like the quarterback position too. I know that you're not the biggest Caleb fan, but he was QB 11 last year, And I'm just thinking, like, he's got a new line, new play caller. The shit show last year. You know, I'm thinking maybe top 10, top 7 finish for him. He QB 11 last year. I know he started running more towards the end of the year too. I know you're the biggest hater on him, but
you really badly want me to change my mind?
No, I'm not asking you to change your mind.
First of all, I don't know what data you're looking at. I mean, I'm pulling up one random league here. He's 17. I'm pulling up another league here. Let me see if I can find this league. Caleb Williams is in this format. Let's see, 2024 stats, QB scoring. This is a 4-point league. That was 6 points per TD. 4 points per TD. He is quarterback 16. So 16 or 17. So right there, you've already just shitted the bed on your Caleb Williams take.
All right.
Where'd you get 11?
I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
Who told you that? Someone told you that. Someone said Caleb Williams, efficiency-wise, was 11. He was 11. He was really good, Steve. I know, Bill. The magic. He has that magic. You know, when he gets around the 10-yard line, this is magical.
Listen, he was 11 in my league. All right. I don't know. I thought our points were.
Is your league award for sacks? A full point to the quarterback if he gets sacked and.
All right. Hold on. His sacks. All his sacks weren't his fault. I saw stats.
Okay. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Now you're completely changing the topic because your argument took a dump, diarrhea at the bed all over, and now you're saying the stats aren't his fault. They actually are. The offensive line is not at fault for all of his sacks.
Oh,
His sacks are his fault. His offensive line took the heat. They were ranked in the top 12 walking into the season. And his offensive line was nowhere close to the worst offensive line in the league. Not even close. They were not even close. You don't get to say because you just told me Caleb was ranked 11 and he was 16 or 17. Okay, go ahead, Joshua. I'm sorry.
What I was going to say was, I've seen very reliable statistics saying that he was taking sacks that were his fault at about a 40% clip. I can literally.
I don't need it. I don't need it. The guy was the most sacked quarterback in the NFL, and people try and blame his offensive line. His offensive line is off the hook. They're off the hook.
No.
Yes.
Offensive line was bad, but he was also bad with some of his pocket navigation.
What makes you think that's
those things are true?
But what makes you think that's going to change? Bro was like that in college. He can't play in structure. He can't play. You know what Ben Johnson did 2 days ago when on the first play, INT, pick 6, and he goes, "You're out. You're done. You're done." Yanked him. They couldn't line up. Yanked him. There's memes all over that this Bears offense looks like a JV football team out there. Caleb is not it, bro. He's not it.
Funny actually, he actually just had his best day at camp.
It's good for him. I'm glad he had some success.
Listen, and going back to a couple days ago, Albert Breer, world-renowned reporter, NFL reporter, he released an article saying that they're throwing everything at him, that all the pressure that they threw in his face was on purpose. They were like, yeah, Montez Sweat, just get back there. Just see what he does. They're just seeing what he does. They're throwing everything at him right now. They are. Just see what sticks.
Okay.
They are.
All right, so can we get to the meat and potatoes of this true question?
You're the one that's going off a tangent here. I'm trying to get to the meat. But what I'm saying is, what do you project him to be at? If
Crash.
He plays decently well. Somewhat figures it out.
Can I tell you the answer though? Unfortunately, you're not going to hear this because you clearly are a Bears fan. Like I don't even have to ask you. You're trying to make this work so badly. Here's the problem and why you're going to lose this every single time we have this debate. I don't need to play around with this what if experiment. What if he's not trash like he was last year? What if he can play in structure like he couldn't last year or through all of college? What if the most sacks in the NFL last year, what if he can avoid those? What if Caleb do you know that Caleb wasn't even a top 32 quarterback in terms of throwing to a wide receiver that was deemed wide open statistically. He wasn't even in the top 34.
Yeah, I know. His deep ball accuracy is horrible.
But he's an awful quarterback. So
I wouldn't say he's an awful
here's where you and I don't even live in the same world. I don't need to go near this game because the quarterback pool is so deep. Why would I mess around with this what if experiment? You're going to play in a what if world. I'm just going to go draft Bo Nix. You're going to play in a what if world. Let me merge this call real quick. Hold on. I'm not hanging up on you. Hang tight, Bruce. Mute yourself. You live in this world of what if. I'm just going to draft Bo Nix. I can get Mahomes on underdog. We will draft tonight. If anybody wants to draft with us tonight on underdog, promo code Smitty. Link is being dropped in the live chat right now. Code Smitty gets it done as well. Links in the description of this video and every video. If you need the link later, they'll match your first deposit 50% all the way up to $1,000, and the minimum's only $10 though. If you want to draft with us, please join and click that link now and get ready, because what we'll do is we'll open up the app together and I'll say click this button in this league now, and that's how we'll get in. Bro, Mahomes on underdog goes in the 7 to 8 territory. You don't need to play the Caleb Williams game. This guy goes later. He goes in the 9, sometimes 10 round territory. These guys are top 5 quarterbacks. This guy was number 7 last year as a rookie with no weapons. Nix was 7. He beat out Hurts. He beat out so many quarterbacks as a rookie. Number 7. This guy has been a top 4 quarterback, Mahomes, more than he has not been. He has been a top 4 quarterback more times than he's been outside the top 4 quarterbacks in his long season. These guys are sitting there for the taking, and you want to contemplate, what if Caleb does this and Caleb rides a pony into the stadium, he stops painting his nails, Smitty, he gets focused, and he throws for an amazing amount of touchdowns. What could his ceiling be? I don't need to play that game, and I don't want to play that game. There's you, Kyler Murray, Dak Prescott, Cam Ward. Cam Ward's better than Caleb right now, bro. Right now. And if you say, whoa, what evidence do you have? Zero. He was trashed last year. Cam Ward is twice the quarterback Caleb is right now, and any Bear fan wants to call in, the phone lines right here.
Call into the show. Call
you have zero evidence to suggest that that's a wrong statement.
Okay. I do, but I'm not going to get into it right now. But what do you think about Drake May?
You don't. Give me the evidence.
No. What do you think about Drake May?
What do you think? Please change the subject.
I have evidence. But I'm not
no, you
don't.
You don't have evidence. Yeah, there is no evidence.
Okay, all right. You want me to get into it? The thing you said about him playing in structure, it's not being able to play in structure. It's not true. Okay, if you look on film, he gets from 1 to 2 to 3 pretty easily. Okay, it's just everything's all fucked up on all the route concepts that didn't make sense. Everybody was by each other. It was just a mess, okay? I get what you're saying about the sacks. I do. About only half of the sacks were his fault. You know who else took half the sacks that were his fault too? Mahomes also did. He just had a lot more because the O-line was bad, okay? And we were dropping back a ton, okay? Now, when it comes to Cam Ward, I will say,
bro, can I just stop you? I let you talk. Can I just stop you right here? I don't know what you just. I don't even know what you think you just said. You said, "Oh, you want to get into it? Let me pull." Bro, nothing you said made anybody say, "Oh," like you did it, bro. Nothing you said was evidence that you got into it. You dug into your bag of tricks on Caleb, bro. Caleb has done nothing but disappoint. He is not the number 1 overall pick. Can I make a bold statement here? That's going to sound bold to you, but not to the average person. That's accepted. This what is. Caleb wasn't the top quarterback in the draft class. He wasn't the second best quarterback in the draft class. He wasn't the third best quarterback in the draft class. He wasn't the 4th best quarterback in the draft class. He wasn't even the 5th best quarterback in the draft class. And the Mickey Mouse Chicago Bears took him number 1 overall. You know who's even better than him? Milroe. Milroe is going to run circles around Caleb once he gets into that lineup. Mark my words. Joe Milton is going to run circles around Caleb when he gets into that Dallas Cowboy offense. Mark my words. Fields is going to make Caleb Williams look like trash this year, and Bears fans are going to say, F my life.
Fields, not good. But
your Fields isn't good now, huh?
No, I've always been out on Fields. I've been out on Fields ever since the Bucs game in 2022. Or 2023, excuse me.
Oh.
I promise you. But
I don't care if you promise me. I feel bad for you if you're being true to that statement.
Fields is dumber than a box of rocks. He can't process to save his life. One read QB. He'll be great for Garrett Wilson, though, and Mason Taylor. Don't get me wrong. He will. He'll get them to produce. And he's a great fantasy quarterback. He is. He's a great fantasy quarterback.
4-2 last year.
Yeah, no, he's a good fantasy quarterback. But like,
no. NFL quarterback, too. He was 4-2 last year.
He's a good fantasy quarterback.
He's a good NFL quarterback. He's a good NFL quarterback. He was the guy to pick half your fan base. I knew you were a Bears fan from the beginning of this, bro. Half your fan base wanted Fields to stay. Half your fan base knows what time it is. Half the fan base doesn't. Sorry.
Half our fan base is not that smart. But listen, can we please talk about Drake May? Can we talk about Drake May? What do you think about Drake May?
I like Drake May. Drake May's twice the quarterback Caleb is.
Drake May was the best quarterback in that class last year. I think that we should have traded back to 2 and taken it. That's what I think.
Finish him.
I'm not like a fanboy, but like.
Call terminated.
All right. I let you go as long as you. The moment you just said that JD5 wasn't the best quarterback last year, is when you got hung up on. You can tell that story to your kids, your grandkids. All right, enough of that. Enough of talking like in circles. I love you, pal. You can call back anytime. I'm not mad at you. It's just it's enough is enough. I felt like I was talking to Gump for a while. How do you calculate handcuff value case by case? Very good question, BBQ. And it's not a question that's easy to answer because there's context. I got to reorganize this board. This is not the way it should be. There's messy. But like valuing blue and the whole handcuff is different too, right? Like the cuff of Sharps and Walker is more valuable than certain cuffs like Mason and Jones. But Mason might have more value than somebody ranked. It just depends on how you look at it. There's no real easy way to do this. And even I struggle when I pull up the cuff board during a in-season video. It's like week 3, and I'm moving things around left and right. I'm constantly changing things left and right. And so that's a tough question. It really comes down to context, and it also comes down to, is it smart to handcuff at all? It's case by case. It's build dependent too. If you built a team that requires you to have J.K. Dobbins with your Harvey because you decided to go early wide receiver and you're thinner at running back and you want to protect that thin build running back crew, then J.K. becomes a vital part of that and component of that build. So it's build specific and case by case specific, and also scoring. How many roster spots can you have? Would I rather have Brashard Smith and a whole plethora of running backs like Mason, like these midseason monster running backs? These midseason monster running backs are more important most times than having your cuff. Having one of these guys over Algier to cuff to your Bijan is more important than having Algier. However, having Tootin with Bigsby is more important than having, let's say, a player you might want a little more standalone, but Tootin's more important to you because you have Bigsby, and Bigsby's a volatile, high-scoring piece of your team. So it's a very good question, but it's one you cannot answer in a blanket way. And when people say don't draft backups, draft someone else's backup, that can be a true statement, but it's case by case. And to say it in a blanket way without explanation or interpretation is a really lazy way of attacking it. Sorry for all the questions jacked up about football. You don't have to apologize for super chatting, especially when they're $10 haulers and more, because you get Mars shots when you drop a $10 hauler.
To Mars!
My boy BBQ, and I've got Brucey on the phone line. Bruce, hang tight real quickly. Let me just make sure we've got all the super chats out of the way. He is the starter. Thanks again for that. That's a laugh if anybody was there for earlier show today. Jonathan Brooks. The guy was, I forget who it was. Who was it that called? It was hilarious. But he's like, yeah, let me read off my team. I'm like, starters only. And he goes, blah, 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 Jonathan Brooks. I go, bro, I said starters only. He goes, he is a starter. Jonathan Brooks. I didn't know he's drafted in a 70-man league. May did so much more with a worse O-line and receivers than Caleb. May is a sleeper this year. Of course he is. DTX. May is an amazing player. And it probably say 3 times the QB, maybe more than Caleb. And it's just got to be embarrassing. I just feel so bad for Bear fans. And I don't think Bear fans generally disagree with me. I think they get mad when someone clowns on their team, but I'm not clowning on Bear fans. I'm clowning on the Bears. This Mickey Mouse organization run by Mickey Mouse people. And they extend Ryan Poles, one of the worst GMs in the league. They extend him off of a hot seat season. He's on the hot seat. They extend him. Unbelievable. One of the worst GMs in football, by far and away. This guy's botched everything. That phone call. Remember that phone call? Hey, who is this? Which somebody in my comments was like, Smitty, don't you know he was joking? We knew he was joking. I'm not a moron. So Caleb, who's this? And Poles is like, shh. And again, we know Caleb knew who it was. Caleb was joking with him. And Poles, you could see it in his face. He's like, I wonder if I could just hang up. It was like it was like that guy that goes on that date, the second date, and he regrets it the moment he sits down at the table. And he's like, how can I get out of here? I shouldn't have come. I should have been strong and just said no second date. But no, Poles is like, we're going to draft you anyway. You ready? When he knew better. He knew better. Yeah. Let's go over to the phone line. Bruce, and then over to Joseph. Bruce, you're live. Make it snappy.
Hey, Smitty.
Yeah.
With JJ being hurt and he's going to be out till week 1, what do you think this does for Aaron Jones and Mason?
It doesn't do anything because he's not out. I think this is a similar question we had earlier. There's no effect to anything if he's playing week 1. Nothing happens. You know what I mean? Like this, that doesn't open the door to anything. It's just a matter of, will he stay healthy? Will he be there for those? Mute yourself real quickly, Thomas, if you could. It's just a matter of like, no doors get opened, Bruce, by him being out the offseason. This isn't like J.K. Dobbins gets hurt right now. Harvey just grabs a hold of everything and it's over. Judkins doesn't sign his rookie deal, is facing the commissioner exemplis paid and a 6 to 8 game suspension when he does actually end up coming off the commissioner exemplis paid, which is why Judkins won't play a single game this year, or at very best at the tail end of the year. Dylan Sampson's grabbing everything. Dylan Sampson's not going to he's so good. Dylan Sampson is not letting go of the starting job. It's over. Judkins is not the starter when he comes back. Judkins is, mute yourself real quick, caller, if you don't mind. Judkins is climbing back into a position of trying to compete. That's it. Dylan Sampson's taking this job. Unless he gets hurt and then everyone's hurt and Judkins comes back and everybody's banged up and then he gets an opportunity. That's different. JJ being hurt has no impact on, does this guy get a chance now? Is Addison got increased value? Now, if JJ ends up missing a significant amount of time, which we don't have that information yet, he's not ruled out of anything during the season, then we have to come back and reassess. But you can't make 2 degree of separation moves based on a person being injured with another player that's not even connected to him. I mean, he's connected to him, but you can't make a Hawkins, like the Hawkinson example earlier. You can't value Hawkinson higher on speculation that Jefferson may, when he comes back, get injured. You can make a direct cautionary move about Jefferson alone, but you start making these movements in value, increases and decreases of players that are not even in the question of the situation. They're just a degree of separation away. You're playing a weird game that you can't play. You don't want to do that.
Okay, yeah, I just didn't know if
nope.
For a little while, your opinion, they were going to run more, and I was like, oh, wait a minute.
I mean, Jay's not rolled out week 1. We don't know. If he goes down, we're going to have a lot to talk about. I just think that there's if I had to throw like an arbitrary, totally guesswork, I've obviously no idea. Okay, this is just you saying, Smitty, with your 23 years of experience doing this professionally, What do you estimate here as far as a likelihood of him holding up, taking his helmet off, and throwing against the bench on the sideline and walking to the locker room with a towel over his head, walking, but with a towel or on a cart, but walking, I see it, and throwing his helmet in disgust because he knows he's lost for a couple weeks at minimum? I'd say 20%, 25%, 20%. That's not like, I mean, the odds are really good that he doesn't miss time, obviously, but that's still a pretty significant percentage that you don't want to hear when you're drafting 7 overall.
Okay.
All right. Bruce,
All right.
call back tonight at midnight, all right? We'll be back in a little bit. Later, Bruce.
Yep.
Thomas, you're live, then Joseph, you're live. Thomas, stay muted real quick. Joseph, you're live, then Thomas, then over to Matthew. Go ahead, Joseph, you're live. I got a cricket in the studio, and I can't get him. I don't know where he is. Joseph, you're on mute.
Oh, sorry. I think that's me, the 847 number.
Oh, okay. Let me see. The caller I want to talk to is the 847. You're live. What's your name and where you calling from?
That's me. Sorry, I'm Jameson. I'm the one on Super Chat you always call Jaime.
Oh, Jaime. What's up, Jaime? Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, from Chicago, Bears fan, and I can tell you right now, it is surprising how many of the Bears fans just blindly follow polls. They think he's doing a phenomenal job, and for years I've been just disappointed at every turn of the corner. I was super disappointed when they kept Poles and Eberflus and then went ahead with the number 1 pick to get Caleb. I thought we should have just cleaned the slate right there.
You know how I knew that Poles was an awful GM, one of the worst in the league, when he decided not to bring in Kingsbury, and to not bring Kingsbury in, who wanted to come work with Caleb, because Caleb is kind of like almost like his son to him. If people don't know that, Kingsbury was his QB coach at USC, and Kingsbury wanted nothing more than to work with Caleb. And, he obviously wanted a head coaching job, and he would have got it had he come over and then he fired Eberflus. But that's why Eberflus didn't want it. And so Eberflus told Ryan Poles, I don't want Kingsbury looking over my shoulder and undermining me. And he's a polarizing figure to be underneath Eberflus in a pecking order. And so they went away from that. What a dumb move to not give Caleb Williams the security of being coached by an offensive coordinator that was his QB coach at USC, that has the mindset to spread the offense out enough to give Caleb room, to navigate and throw inside the pocket. That's when I knew that Ryan Poles was the worst GM, maybe the worst GM, at least in the top 5 worst GMs in the league, when he made a decision off of Eberflus's scared Scotty concerns. Not to mention, you should have just fired Eberflus and hired Kingsbury as your head coach.
Yeah, what I wanted was, I was hoping we were going to aggressively pursue Harbaugh and give him the reins, because I thought if we brought him with the number 1 quarterback pick, that would have been really good.
Yeah. Well, good news.
But I just wanted to let you know, there's a large portion of the Chicago fan base that thinks that Poles is amazing right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway, I'm going to hang up and keep listening.
All right, appreciate you, bro. You're the man. Thank you, Jaime. I'm going to save you in the system, by the way, Jaime, so I can make sure I know it's you when you call. Thomas, you're live, then Matthew. Thomas, go ahead.
Hey, Smitty.
Buddy.
Earlier on the Genty. Yeah. My bad earlier on the Genty move. But you see where I'm going with that. When we took Gibbs in the 4th round, that rookie year, we expected a lot out of him. But the first couple of games, he crapped in the bed on him. Not because he didn't have the talent, but because the Lions are holding him back a little bit. If we take Genty at number 5, and the first couple of games, they're not throwing him out there, and they're holding him back on the carries, at their number 5 pick, we expected him to come out of the gate firing. And that's a tough loss to take. The first 3 games, you don't come out and you're 0-3.
Can I just save you some anxiety? And I don't know if are you at the gym pounding the weights, bro?
No, I'm at work. I just stepped out a little bit. I'm at a warehouse.
It sounded like you're pounding the weights. I'm going to say this, bro. Let me just save you some anxiety and save everybody. I got 5 gifted memberships by Green dropping the 5 membership. Green. There's 0 chance that Genty gets the Jahmyr Gibbs treatment his rookie year. 0. Number one. I don't know if you can mute yourself. We got a lot of wind. Just mute yourself real quick. Talking. Can't hear anything with that. Just mute yourself real quick. Thanks. There's 0% chance that this offense, especially Carroll, this staff, drafted Genty as high as they did to not use him full go. Not to mention that if there's no one else there, that's another point, that Pete Carroll would never draft a running back and not use him this high. There's just zero chance. He's getting you. For anybody who doesn't remember, Thomas, and let's give Thomas a break. I asked Thomas to predict how many carries Genty would get, and he said 120. and we took the calculation there. Even if he got 5 yards a carry times 120, that's 600 yards. Let me just tell you something, my man.
I didn't do the math, man. I didn't do the math.
That's
man.
right. That's right. That's right. You're working hard, and we appreciate you working hard at the. Where are you at? You don't tell us where, but it's a warehouse. You lifting heavy shit for everybody, so we can get the things we need at our home.
In the warehouse in the Bay Area. Yeah. I called you a couple of times. I go to Arizona every now and then.
Hardworking man. Hard work. That's for the hardworking men out there that got the earpiece in, giving their employer 80%, 70% capacity because you're focused on this channel. That's how we do it.
Let him cook.
Guys on the clock right now on the line. 300, bro, 300 carries minimum. 300 carries minimum. And if you give them 4.5 a pop, that's 1350. That means that Genty's getting 1,350 rushing yards in the worst of scenarios. And like
pull the trigger at 5.
I'm just telling you, if the players that I've mapped out are gone, CD, Gibbs, Bijan, Jamar Chase, and you get to a point where you're like, yeah, I'm worried about drafting and putting my season on the line for a wide receiver in JJ that's walking blindly with a blindfold on onto the field in week 1, and they take it off and say, how does it feel? And he's going to have to run around. I'm sure he's running and testing it, but you're not doing game speed acceleration and explosions and getting hit. And so the worst part about a hamstring or a calf or a groin, or in some cases even a quad, is that the times that you re-injure it are when you're doing unexpected flexing and explosion movements. Like, for example, when you, let's say, tear your calf and you're running on a sidewalk, and you know how it dips in when cars turn in for a curb? It's that off-level part of it. You're running and you're off-level, your leg's not expecting that change in plane, and then your calf pulls because it's flexing in a different way. So these guys that they run, they train. Christian McCaffrey with the bilateral chronic Achilles tendonitis, he's out there doing these straight line runs. It's going to be when he's being pushed into different positions and he's flexing and using the Achilles, or in the case of JJ, the hamstring, or in the case of Nabers, the toe, in ways that you can't even, practice. And if you did, you do it once. Where we're talking about in a game, you're doing it the whole game. If you're in a bind, this guy, as long as he doesn't get injured, which there's no reason to believe that this man would get injured. He had 26 touchdowns, or 29 touchdowns in his last college season. In 1 year, 29 touchdowns, 7 yards a carry, 2,601 yards rushing. Never had under 100 yards rushing. Was first in the nation in so many categories. There's nothing to believe that this guy doesn't walk in as maybe the most capable workhorse in the league. He's getting you 13.
I was willing. I'm with you as far as after CD. I'm not. I don't like CMC. I don't like Puka. I don't like St. Brown. I'm willing to go all the way down to Nabers, but I understand with the toe injury and stuff, so kind of hesitant on that. But I didn't take Genty though. take that high at 5 because I got the 5th pick. I told you in the PPR league, so
Genty,
but I'm not taking. I'm going to reach. I'm going to reach with someone else. I'm not taking TMC. I'm not taking Puka. I'm not taking St. Brown. None of those guys. I'm going to reach with someone. I just wanted to reach for Nabers, but I'm gonna take it out on Genty though.
I want to reach for Nabers. I'm telling you that right now. And for the guy that called earlier, Heating, he just keeps arguing about the talent. The talent's there. We all know the talent's there. It's not about arguing that the space shuttle is the fastest shuttle that there is. Like, it's almost like Heating was saying, this shuttle can go to Mars. And we're like, we know this shuttle's the best shuttle that's ever built, but it has a problem on its left, second engine. So we can't just sit here and go, this is the best shuttle ever made. It will be fine. This is a shuttle with one of the engines that has a problem. And we send it up in space. We don't know what's going to happen when it gets 70, 80% to its destination. And so arguing about how good the shuttle is, it's the fastest ever, it's got the best engines ever. If it's damaged right now, there's no argument. All right. Hey, appreciate you, bro.
Gotcha, man. Have a good one, Smitty.
All right, later. All right, let me go to the next caller. Matthew, sorry about the wait. Matthew, you are live, young man. And then over to Dominic's super chat. Go ahead, Matthew.
Oh, hi. Thank you, Smitty. Yeah, I just had a cool question. I've been doing a lot of drafts recently. That there's like a lot of talent towards the end of drafts, like the Keith Mitchells or whatever, as far as running backs go. But like, I haven't been able to find that many wide receivers that I feel like have Puka level potential. I know that's like kind of an impossible thing to shoot for, but like, do you have any like ideas besides like Jack Beck or like some like the other ones that a lot of people are knowing about?
Absolutely, bro.
That, like, we
absolutely, for sure. Probably our favorite. All you gotta do is turn to the midseason monster board. And he's on the Moon Man list, right?
The Moon Man.
Yeah, Thornton.
Dropping low.
Thornton is my favorite. Absolute favorite. Likely got injured. He's banged up right now.
Space Moon 6.
Not expected to miss a bunch of time, but this might be a situation where we open up a Moon Man spot. I still love Isaiah Likely. There's a lot of potential, but I do feel like maybe there's room for adding another player. So Thornton would be the biggest, I think, player that we would consider to be that player. I think what I would point to also is my most recent. This is like a month old, so don't judge it entirely. There might be a name or two missing or out of order. I kind of wanted to keep it historically correct until I redo this, and I'm doing it on August 1. August 1, I'll drop my preemptive week 1 waiver wire update show. This one we did about a month or so ago. Milton, it's such a great Arroyo. We did move Arroyo up. Let me move it. I did move him from like here to here when we were talking about him, but the rest of this is historically right where it was. Rashard Smith, Sampson, croskey-merritt. What a freaking amazing 1 month ago list that we dropped. But on this list, you'll find some of the guys: Thornton, Ao Manor, Jalen Royals, with the injury to Hollywood Brown today, which isn't supposed to be significant, but you've got him hurt. You got Rashee Rice maybe getting suspended. You have Horton over in Seattle. You got Tesla in Detroit, requires an injury, but it could be significant. Jalen Lane over in Washington. Just what an amazing month ago list that we collected. I'm super impressed by that. I thought when I pulled that up the other day, I thought I was going to be like, oh boy. Trey Harris is going in like the 100 to 120 range. Trey Harris could be absolutely.
So there's plenty of talent.
What?
Available at the end. So there's plenty of talent at the end. I was thinking like,
totally.
Would it be best this year, just given this year, like to go wide receiver heavy early? But like then again, I don't really like the running backs in the middle, like 4 to 8 rounds.
You're asking the question that people continue to ask that there's no answer to, and I'm very happy to answer it this way. But you can't plan, especially in middle rounds, start thinking like you're gonna have some structure of your draft. You got to go with the flow. And that takes practice. That's why we draft on underdogs, so that you're prepared for every avenue and you recognize the build that you're making. When you draft in 100, 200 underdog drafts that are $3 or $5, obviously only do what you're capable of doing. And the link is in the live chat pin. The link's in the description. Code Smitty gets it done as well and inserts that discount for you. But click this right here, this link, and we'll be drafting tonight. So if anybody wants to draft tonight. But when you go through the motions enough, I know that I'm going to see this player in this round. I know I'm going to see this player in that round. I know I'm going to see this player in that round, and it makes it for very, very easy drafting, and it makes it to where I'm literally walking in and just smashing home runs because I'm so prepared. I've gone through the motions, and there's no, do I do hero? Do I do zero running back, hero running back, robust RB? You do those strategies, but you do them naturally. You don't plan it. You just say, ha, look at that. I drafted hero RB. You don't actually, you shouldn't even think about it. You should just be going through the motions like you've done in draft prep scenarios. But I guess what I would say to you is this. I would say at the end of the day, you've got to think about at the top of your draft, is it running back hungry? Is it 12 man or 10? 10 man makes me go RB most of the time.
It's 12 man, half PPR, and they're always running back hungry.
Okay, so you're probably taking Bijan, Gibbs, or Genty, and that trio gives you probably flexibility to say that no matter what, the best player available down to at least pick 8, 7, you have it covered because it's one of those three RBs. It's Bijan, Gibbs, and Genty. If you like Barkley, so be it. I just personally, and I like Barkley, but I just think, it could be one of those things where he's the number one running back for 4, 5, 6 straight weeks. People come in here going, how do you feel now? How do you feel now that Barkley's the third or second running back? And I'm going to say, get me a coffee. I already knew this was going to happen. We already told you this. But when week 10, 15 comes around, what's happening then? We don't know. 430 carries is massive with a major injury history. So these are my guys. These are my almost near bust unless injury strikes you can't predict studs that I'm taking. So you're going to RB. You get in the second round. Achan, he might go round 1. It just depends on your format. Bucky, and then when you start getting through that, it's London. And then maybe Kyron gets pulled up into round 2. But so robust RB, I'm fine with going RB. But only if you're going to get the Rashee Rice, Garrett Wilson, Travis Hunter, Deebo Samuel kind of trio of those, those kinds of guys, JSN and Garrett Wilson and Deebo, like something like that. It makes me smile ear to ear if I'm getting that kind of wide receiver room with a robust RB approach that has Genty at the top of it. It just really, and then I love Harvey and Hendy and Hampton and, add those guys as a flex. Or if you were to go, let's just say you went Lamb, London, I could smash with that too, though, bro. That's an amazing strategy because if you were able to get, let's say, Kyron or Hall in round 3, and you might not in a robust setting, but you do on Underdog, and we'll do that tonight. Again, that link is in the live chat pinned. Make sure you're smashing that. Let me pin the link. It's actually not pinned right now.
When can we hop on another Underdog stream to join at the same time? That was fun.
Midnight Eastern. I'm always live. All right, my man. Cool. Appreciate you.
It, Thank you.
Yeah, midnight Eastern. Every single midnight, I go live pretty much to draft on Underdog. And that doesn't change during the year because we're drafting the weekly, what they call them, battle royales. The weekly battle royales. We're literally drafting for week 1. The whole couple weeks leading into week 1. Then when week 1's over, we're drafting at midnight week 2 drafts. We're drafting week 3 draft. So we just go into in-season weekly DFS kind of settings, 2 super chats here, 3. One from Dominic 499 says 1 QB subscriber. If you're new, we just got 5 new members or subscribers right now. I just saw the subscriber total. By the way, I don't know if you guys noticed, I didn't say anything when it happened, but we crossed over 33,000 subscribers. So appreciate all of you. You guys are amazing. We're doing it live here on the channel. And we're humming right now. We just have 5 people subscribe right now. Subscribe if you're new. No one goes live, in my opinion, and I think we go live 2 times more than anybody. That's my opinion anyway. 1 QB league, but 6 points TD passes. Love that format. I pick 8th and 10th in different leagues. Both are full PPR. Just thinking Genty first. Thoughts on who to take in the second and QB rounds. I love Knicks, Mahomes, and Burrow more than I love going early quarterback and missing the Hamptons, the Hunters, the Harveys, the Hendys, the Garrett Wilsons, the Rashee Rices. Those players just feel more valuable given that the differential between Nick's output and maybe even Burrow's is not going to be, it could be within points. It could be within 20 points. It could be Nick's could outscore Hurts. He did last year. Nick's was QB7 with no weapons. So I just tend to go that route. And that's, and so the 3-4 turn, I love the running backs and the receivers near equal in those 3-4 rounds. There's no way to really map it out for you other than to say, love Handy, Harvey, Hampton, Rice, Garrett Wilson, MHJ, JSN. I love JD5 and Josh Allen and Lamar in those territories. And if all those players I love are gone, and I know I can get Travis Hunter the next round, I will take a JD5 or a Burrow or something, and then I'll punt Travis Hunter to the next round because I know I can get him, and then I smash that. But at the end of the day, you give me Nix and probably Penix Jr. late in the draft, or let's say I have CeeDee Lamb and I do want to stack it because it's fun. Redraft, there's no such thing as a stack that helps you really in redraft and non-best ball. It's just people carry it over from best ball because they're addicted to it. But even though it's fun, you get Dak and Milton and then Mahomes, or Dak and Milton and Bo Nix. You got to cuff Milton to Dak. You just got to. If you don't think that's a serious thing, then I don't know what to tell you. You haven't been paying attention. But that is a combo of quarterback play that allows you flexibility to get and not have to pass on the Debo when you're on the clock. Not have to pass on the Travis Hunter when you're on the clock, and you just accumulate more monsters. So, but Genty in the first round is gold, bro. Straight up gold. And honestly, I'd take him at 3 or 4 if I needed to, but don't tell anybody that. Can you show all the Moon Man, Marsman, Saturnman, etc.? For you, my guy Eric, here you go, doing it live.
The Jupiter men. Jupiter is so large, every planet in the solar system could fit inside it. There are no bigger monsters than the Jupiter men.
The Saturn men.
One small step for man, one giant leap for Saturn.
He's on a shuttle to Mars. Mars men.
The Moon men. Dropping loads in outer space.
Mitchell is being told he needs to compete for the second running back job right now, so he's on shaky ground right now. That could be a replaceable piece right there.
Jupiter.
We thought he was going there, but he may not. And then
off he goes to the planet known as Uranus.
The complete avoid list at their cost of entry. Cost of entry could change whether we are back in on one of these players, just so you know. It's not always that we don't draft them no matter what. It's just the likelihood of them falling out of that no-go territory is slim to none because they're so cemented into a bad draft pick. They could drop 5 picks. It still wouldn't change anything for me. Eric, appreciate you for dropping that super chat, young man. And then Viral, thank you for the additional super chat here. Hey, Smitty, how would you rank these 3, Sampson, Sharps, and Benson? That's a very good question. I probably would say, God, I love Benson a lot. I go back and forth on this. League winning, if I'm swinging for like upside and I'm not using the player and I want a league winner, I'm going to rank them differently. I'd probably rank them like this. And then Sampson. If I needed this player in week 1, I might even go 1. Sampson. I might go Sampson 1 and then probably 2, 3, but Benson could be the best player here. It's a matter of what's the workload look like. If Walker goes down, this is a top 5 running back. If Connor goes down, this is a top 6 to 10 running back. If Sampson is the lone starter and Ford were to get banged up or fumble the ball away or something, then he goes to a solid value, but he is going to get a lot of work right away. So it's kind of hard to say. I would say in a vacuum, it's going to be 1, 2, 3 in terms of swinging for the fences, and then it's going to be 1, 2, 3 if we're talking about needing that player in week 1 to do some damage for you. So great question, and kind of hard to answer that, unless we do it that way. Appreciate all my super chats. Appreciate everybody in the building. Appreciate all my moderators, all the phone callers, even heating, even the heated exchanges we had on the phone line. I appreciate everybody. We're gonna be back at midnight Eastern. Okay, so I want everybody back here. By the way, if anybody drops $100 hauler, you can sponsor any video and have your name on the video play every time we play it. For example,
get buckied.
One of our most requested
Buckied.
$100 hauler gets you on any video you want.
Buckied. Oh, Bucky.
And I think two of the most surprising videos that don't have anybody, nobody is claimed yet. Where's that one? I can't believe I didn't. I think it's right here.
Hi, I'm worried William, and my mommy just warmed me up a hot pocket, and I've never even talked to a hot chick. Hey,
Here it is. All right, here it is.
Hey, are you currently sitting at home and wondering, why am I such a loser? Why do I not know how to get chicks? Well, there is a solution. Draft Ashton Genty in your upcoming fantasy football drafts, and you'll immediately start growing hair on your chest. Those little testicles of yours will finally drop, and even though you still live in your mom's basement, you're going to immediately start getting hot chicks, all because you drafted Ashton Genty. Now, do you want to be this guy? Hi, I'm worried William, and my mommy just warmed me up a hot pocket, and I've never even talked to a hot chick. Or this guy. Hey, I'm Dom, and I drive fast cars, get hot chicks, and draft Ashton Genty double fist style with 2 cell phones at the same time. Why do I have 2 cell phones? One for looking up Ashton Genty stats all day, the other is for getting chicks. All right, put down the hot pocket petrified PETA and start smashing Genty ADP, and watch less Thundercats reruns and more of the fantasy football show with Smitty, you bozo.
So any video you want. My favorite video we have probably period is this one right here. It's got
in a jam. Call HHH and Associates.
Triple H and Associates. Locations on Earth and Jupiter.
Just my favorite. This is my personal favorite. See you all at midnight Eastern. Thank you again for all the super chats. Anybody dropping $100 on anything, you can grab one of those videos, and every time we play it, and a lot of times if someone has the video, let's say, Smitty, here's a $5 super chat, play my video. Like that happens a lot. So $5 replay trigger points. Anytime you want. So do it live. I'll see you all at midnight Eastern. Don't forget, I have my Patreon, which is a year-round 365 chat group. And so we're just sitting in there, and I'm going to go in there right now. I'll drop the link right there. There's the link. I'm going to drop the link. There it is. I'm going to go in there right now and type to our Patreon group and say, hey, all, this is live. Any host 8 p.m. topics. Boom. I'm in there. I'm waiting to chat with you all. It's the most amazing group. It's just basically the live chat group that we have here. These wonderful people that you hear, and see every day. And it's like as soon as the show's over, the conversation spills over to the Patreon and just continues. And it's a 365. Then I go in there and I let everybody know, hey, I'm going live. You'll never miss live streams. You'll never. And then on game days, the most important part, on game days, we all pile into the game day lounge, this chat room right here, and just sit there, play by play. People have told me they've canceled their red zone because they work on Sundays, and they literally just open that and watch the play by play because everyone's like, did you see that? Achan 20-yard run. Achan, oh, they called back his touchdown. Achan just scored it again. He got it anyway. It's just nonstop. The Patreon's absolutely amazing. And don't forget, you need rankings and trade calculators. This is the bread and butter. I've done this for 23 plus years. I got into the business doing this. There was no trade calculator that I could find in the entire industry. So in 2002/2003, your boy Smitty said, I'll do it myself. And so, a lot of people have copied it since. A lot of people copy everything we do. But you want rankings, bold predictions, trade calculators, all that stuff, head on over to thefantasyfootballshow.com. That link is also in the description of any video. I'll drop it right here, though, just in case you need it. There's that link. And then don't forget, if anybody wants to draft tonight on Underdog, promo code Smitty. That link has been pinned in the live chat. It's still there right now. Code Smitty also gets it done. We'll be drafting tonight. Okay, so if you want to draft with me, hit that link and do it live. Otherwise, you probably will scramble and try and get in, and you just won't make it in time. We do it like no one else. News at 8 p.m. Eastern every single Monday through Friday. Who else does news like we do? Nobody. Nobody. Who else takes phone calls the whole show? Nobody. Nobody. Who else drafts with you or at least talks to you and doesn't just draft? They do a whole content show where we don't just look at the board, go, hey, I'm going to pick this guy, I'm going to pick this guy. We talk about news, breaking news, strategy. There's always some sort of topic at night, and then we draft. Who does that? Nobody. Nobody. Who goes live whenever news breaks? Nobody but this show, at least the way we do it. See you all at midnight tonight. Three super chats rolling in. Drop the man, Brees Hall clip on the way out. Okay, I'll do that right here. And then Smitty inbox offer. Which side do you like? Burrow, Harvey, Jefferson, 27 second. You didn't really say like where this offer divides. You just have 3 players in a row. Burrow, Harvey, Jefferson, 27 second. Which side do I like? Jerry, I'm going to assume that it's Burrow, Harvey for Jefferson in second. There's no comma. There's nothing dividing that. I'm going to say in a dynasty, if you don't, it depends on if it's super flex. If it's super flex, the Burrow side by a mile. If it's not super flex, but you have no quarterback, this is very close. And I probably say that if I'm good at wide receiver, I'm okay with that Burrow side. But it is so damn 50-50. Superflex is not close at all. And then right here, Hampton for Judkins. Sanders, 26 late first rounder. I take Hampton by a country mile. I think someone asked this or question very close to it. You got Tank, though, too. That's nice on that side. But still, even in a super flex, I'm going Hampton. I like Sanders, though. I like Tank Bigsby a lot, but I'm still taking Hampton. I'm still smashing that Hampton side. All right, see you all at midnight Eastern, which is literally in like an hour and a half. Dose. Travis, we'll see you later, bro. Thank you, mods. Blackbeard, Sick Nasty, Space Ricky, DeBalt, Travis, Vampy, Terry Roberts, Kenny Powers, Double A.
Get breached.
Brees Hall is 8 foot tall. He will always answer the mother freaking call. Don't let him fall. In the third, don't stall. Just give Batman the freaking football.
He's Brees. He's Brees.
He does a hell of a job. A hell of a job. A hell of a job.
Brees Hall, please report to the moon.
He does a hell of a job.
Silver Rapture. Silver Rapture is the veteran in here, the longest watching viewer that we have in the building anytime he steps into it. He's like viewer 4. Deuce. Later, Dooney. Dooney is a new Patreon member. See you over on the Patreon.